Big up, big up, big up, and welcome to Liberal 12th Man Show. I'm Liberal 12th Man, and we are doing a review and rating show of the Wolves game. I know some of you might be just, still in exuberance over the Red Devils loss, and possibly even in the exuberance of the City draw. So, great weekend for Reds. Top of the league to you, as I would like to say, top of the league to you, my Reds. And I'd also like to say top of the league to my co-partner today, the Irishman. How you doing, Irishman?
It's cold, man.
Hmm.
It's dropped like to 10 degrees in from like 22 to 10 in a day.
Oh, wow.
It's just really cold. Yeah, it's really cold.
It is really cold.
Yeah.
Right.
And it hasn't stopped raining all day either, so it's absolutely miserable. So yeah, it's good to be back. We haven't done anything for 2 days, so
Yep.
good to be back.
Yeah. Always good to be back with my brethren here. And big up to Richard, big up to Joe, big up to Baz, big up to St. Paul.
Hi, Baz.
Big up to all you guys in the house. Some fun stuff to talk about today.
Get well soon, Baz. Like Baz is back in the old hospital, so hope you get home soon. Man.
I spoke to him recently. I didn't know he was in the hospital. Get well, Baz. You're always at the support of all of us. Okay, cool. So, hi, Laura. Big up to you as well. Hi, Laura. Evening. Geez, what do we talk about first? What do we talk about first? Because
we go Man United. Go United. Talk about United. Talk about United first. We can wait because our game was a bit of a snooze fest, so we can, talk about fun stuff first.
It really was. I will agree with that. It really was. It wasn't anything that you had anything to worry about. So, sorry about that. Yeah, I would say like United losing in the fashion that they did without Son, watching their captain get taken off with a red card, which was a red card. There was no doubt that was a red card. That was just bad. And he tried to basically explain away. There's no explaining that. Then it's the fact that it's 3-0. I don't know where it goes from here. Do you, Brian? What do you think happens? Is Ten Hag going to be the first guy sacked, first manager sacked?
I think they made a huge mistake in deciding that he couldn't be replaced this year. I think they made a really big mistake there because it was obvious that he could, and it was also pretty likely that it would go badly. So what they've gone and done is kind of doubled down against themselves a little bit, but they made all these Jim Ratcliffe type demands where he was having his coaching staff appointed for him. So it was kind of like you're telling the guy he can keep his job, but after publicly admitting that it was only because you couldn't find a suitable replacement, and then you told him who was going to be his assistants. I mean, it didn't really have a long-term ring to it. It didn't sound like we've got, you can't then come out and say we have nothing but confidence in this manager. So, I mean, look, this is I've stopped it because with them,
gotten everything he wanted. He's gotten pretty much everything he wanted, and then even this year,
he could have been sacked. He could have been sacked 3 times over. For like a Man United manager in the past would have been sacked about 3 different times for things that he's done and places where he's ended up and stuff that he's achieved. They would have been gone. So like the fact that this guy when you say to me, will he be sacked? I mean, he should have been sacked 2 years
He
ago.
will be sacked. I definitely, yeah, he
Yeah.
will be
So
sacked.
I mean,
This question,
but I think
when
I think this one is getting close. I mean, they everybody's saying that Ruud van Nistelrooy is is been primed to take over, and it's only a
that's what
matter of
I've heard that too. Yeah, I heard that too.
yeah, it's only a matter of when he does something bad up. But it's just like he's done all the bad stuff. He can't do anything worse really than finish the places he's already finished. So I don't know
Right.
what he has to do to lose his job. Is what I mean. Does he have to get bet 9-0 by Brighton and then they'll sack him? You know, at 12-0 by Bournemouth, and then that's the tipping point. What's their tipping point?
If he loses the team, I think that'll basically be the end of him. I think if like players, lose, like, just completely come out and say they have no confidence in this, even Ali was asked the question if he would want to take over the reins, and he was like, "Yeah, absolutely. If they need me, if Red Devils need him, he would, come right back in a heartbeat." But Ali at the wheel. We've seen that episode happen before too. So it's something. He's had over 300 million. He's had well over 300 million in transfers. It goes to show you that, like, if you don't have a real system intact, meaning like from organization to coach to everything, like in the layers of the organization behind you, you're going to be in this situation where it doesn't matter how much you spend or what name players you bring in, it still could be a hot dumpster fire, which is what the Red Devils are right now.
Because this is the thing, though, isn't it? Like, even if they did, on their track record, would you trust them to get the replacement right? I'm sacking him is one thing. That's fine. You've done that. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now get the new manager. Would you even would you trust them to get that right? I wouldn't, because they've shown like pretty much bad judgment for however long it is since Fergie is gone.
Right.
So
right.
I mean,
even when someone say, "Oh, well, like, bring back the old or whatever," with Fergie. I mean, like, Fergie was a part of that process. He pretty much handpicked his successor. Like,
yeah. I mean, they need to get away from him. I mean, see, they're not as big as they think they are when it comes to the outside of the Fergie era. They're not Real Madrid.
Right.
They're
5'9" with an attitude.
Yeah, they hit their.
Have you seen that meme, by the way? Yeah. Has anyone seen that meme? Okay, let's make sure. I wasn't alone. I saw that. I was rolling.
Yeah, they got class of '92. They got the class of '92 that came along, right? Mm-hmm. At the same time as Sky Sports and the Premier League. If it wasn't for that, that's what's given them this thing. They've just kind of reverted back to being one of their bigger clubs. Mm-hmm. It's just there's been so many people grow up for 20 years thinking that there's only one big club in England, and it's Man United, and it always will be. Like, mm-hmm. I remember being told about United fans are like, we have bigger stadium than ye, bigger this, bigger that. We're bigger than ye, and we always are. We always will be. Yeah. Who's ever going to be bigger than us? That was their attitude for years. Who could ever be bigger than us?
They're about to build 100,000 person. They're going to build one of the biggest stadiums, for a club in England, with like that 100,000 proposed 100,000 seat stadium that they want to rebuild, Old Trafford, or Old Toilet, as we like to call it. So it's yeah. And there's some I know Pops. There's some comments in the chat too here.
Oh, hey, Pops says
Fergie did, but he didn't ask for all the staff to be removed from around poor Moisey, excuse me. Hyler says Manchester United is like a commercial for some dental product. Let me make sure I can read this one. Rinse and repeat. It's the same story over and over again. With a new manager, they can't help themselves. They just love to self-destruct. That is true. Let's see if there's no one in here, I think.
they got the Liverpool disease. You know, it's what happened to us in the 90s. We assumed we were always going to be top dogs because we always were top dogs
Yeah,
in people's living
yeah,
memory. And we just thought it would happen naturally. We were the biggest club, so we were always going to keep being the biggest club. That's just us, right? What could go wrong? You know, you
right.
buy good players, you win stuff. And it's like, no, man, doesn't work like that. And the last 10 years, they've been like us. They've been overspending on overpriced players and this kind of sense of it's United. Like Gary Neville, like this is Manchester United. This is Manchester United we're talking. And they had that thing that's like, yeah, this is United. We'll buy the best and we'll get back to the top. And they didn't watch what other clubs are doing
Mhm,
around. Now, it wouldn't be that difficult for them to get back to that position because of the advantages
mhm.
they have. But the way they've been so badly run, you don't even want them to get near that because yeah, if it all came down to a good club being well run and how much money they can bring in, well, they're right up there, you
Right.
know. So yeah, they still will always have that, so they'll never be that far away from it. But right now, they're just in the peloton, they're in the chase, they're in the pack. That's it.
Right.
There's other clubs out there that can compete with them, and it shows if you're not well run, you haven't a hope.
Yeah. Yep. Bernie goes to say Fergie did the opposite to Jurgen. He handed over a poison chalice to Moises with aging players. He didn't want he didn't want his legacy to succeed without him. Oh wow. He set him up for failure, huh, Bernie? That's deep. That's deep. Hyler says, surely Liverpool will never we're never as bad as Manchester United are now, and Manchester United never had the players we had in our league period.
We came pretty
We
close.
we, we
Like
come close. We come close.
no, even like we finished eighth. I know they finished down at around that. I think if not lower at
Mhm.
one point. But
Right,
it's as like an eighth or a 12th for us and them. That's as good as 20th. You know, without
right.
being relegated. You know, it's unacceptable basically for a
Certainly.
Liverpool or United to be less than fourth. You know,
Yeah.
so but they came second and they won a cup and they won Europa League and we had moments when we were bad, but we never even came close to winning the league
I think
for
it's
very
also
long
because of the self
until
destruct.
Rafa in '09.
Maybe.
Sorry, yeah,
Big up Barnes
just
in the
one thing,
house,
guaranteed.
Basement Reds TV.
Yeah, yeah.
MK. Pick up
If
the
you're
Dara
having a
right
yard
away. And
sale,
hello, Barney. I haven't said hello
yeah.
properly to
If
one
you're
of my
ha-
red jewels. My
if you're
apologies.
having a yard sale on overpriced, overpaid 30-year-old South American players, or even young South American players, United were usually a good one. They'd usually be there picking them up, but
Right. Yeah.
they, surely
Uh,
eventually.
yeah. There is one. There is a. That's you're right about that guarantee. Definitely, Barnes. Definitely. They have a unique. I I did not. I was not on the Ugarte bandwagon. There were a lot of people that were all about Ugarte. When I was watching him in the I think I remember Chris and I both going like off. We were off Ugarte watching the Copas. I think both of us were like, nah, I'm good on this guy. Um, on paper, Bernie says on paper they have some talented players, but our players don't have the egos that they do. I think that's the thing is that you have a if you have a that's why I was talking about the uniqueness of our team and how I like the fact it's a family oriented like structured unit. Like they want to fight for each other. They want to be able to like really they believe in the badge, they believe in the organization, they put so much emphasis on the fact that there's real foundation here. And I just think that like yes, you can of course wow people by giving them big checks, and putting the cash on the table. But I mean like ultimately There's nothing
Sorry,
better.
I dropped out there.
No worries, no worries. There's nothing better than winning. There's nothing better than enjoying the success of winning. And the acclaim that comes with it, and the vibe and the feeling and everything else, and you kind of like it's like you're walking on sunshine or walking on air, and then next thing you know, like it gets you through some of these hard spells and the hard times, because you will go through them, But if you know how someone was when you're up, or you'll know, or if you know how someone when you're down, you'll definitely certainly know how people are when you're up. But there just haven't been that many ups for the Red Devils. I don't know about you guys, but I know that there's some. I know Pops sometimes points out for me, talk about, oh yeah, no, like you love like gloating somewhat in Red Devils, especially Arsenal. He tells me about Arsenal too, which they're just because they just talk too much. But for Red Devils, there was that era when Red Devils thought that they're, fill in the explicitive right there, like didn't stink, and they would let you know about it, and it was just I have no love for them right now. I let it wallow, let it simmer, people, let it simmer. Go ahead, Brian.
Just Pops is asking. Well, I know maybe you're answering that question when I came back, but it's just we haven't been on. We haven't done a show in 2 days, so we're going to talk about Liverpool, but we're just waiting to see if someone else is coming in. So we just thought we'd catch up on how the rivals are doing, basically. I know that Man United are our rivals, but just kind of a general catch up really on other teams before we start talking about the Reds. Waiting for a few people to come in, and that's all really. But it is a bit of fun,
It's a bit of fun, certainly. I mean, like, if you can't have this fun, like, what's the purpose? Sometimes, what's the purpose of football? Other than to like enjoy the banter a little bit, and enjoy the moments. Because I mean, like moments like this,
And that's a three game ban for thingy. I mean,
because it's straight red.
He should have had about 5 of them in his career, but yeah, it was good to see. A bit of misery piled upon misery.
Yeah,
They'd be out there giving it to us, but I think we're doing it in a respect.
They would. Yeah. They would. Yeah, banter. Like just enjoying a little bit of your rivals' tears. I'm thinking of I don't know if you ever saw this movie with the 5.
I know, Pops.
I feel like it's like the 5 heartbeats. That's all. It's like I just get some. I'm not going to sing the song. I'm not singing. Forget it. I'm not singing. But there's this. I just in my mind, I can just think of the 5 heartbeats and like, the one character talking about like the rain falling. Oh, the rain is certainly falling.
Right.
Solanke scoring was a good moment. That was a good moment.
Everyone kind of piling on Spurs when they were 1, and it was when they were 1 up, and Bruno goes off, say, "Oh, typical Spurs now. They're going to Spursy this up and be all Spursy, Spurs." So it was happy because I did think that for about 2 seconds myself. I was like, "Oh yeah, they bloody might know." That would be typical of them. United, like, because I wasn't going to even look at that. I knew I wasn't going to see the result again until the game was over. So I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to check back in, and this is 2-1 to Man U in the 97th minute or something.
Yeah,
but they didn't even get, like, those days now are kind of gone, thankfully.
Yeah,
it took a while, but they've lost that belief even in themselves, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, it does say something. I mean, we were fortunate enough to have a manager in this spell that's been somewhat, obviously a manager in that spell of their misery that brought us glory, and now we have a manager right now that's doing his own bit of history as well. I don't know how long the record was. I'd have to look up. Maybe someone in the chat, maybe someone could help us back up on this stat. But I know that was something like he's the first manager. I don't know how long it's been, if he's the first manager at all to do it, but first manager to win his first 3 away games as a Premier League coach, I want to say. I think that's a stat that he just ended up breaking slot this weekend. No manager has ever taken over a team and won their first 3 away games. There's something like that. There was some stat that was thrown out there. I don't know if anyone else heard that stat on, or at least the commentators brought up something like that on this side of the pond. They brought up that stat. Okay, thank you, Bernie. I appreciate it. So she says, yeah. So it was a pretty interesting statistic. This guy has got this team really believing, and like, albeit like I know some people have it where they're trying to, taper goals. He's doing it himself. The slot is doing it himself. He's coming out and saying how, like, I'm going to gauge this, like, in week 19, I'll gauge where we're at, not right basically in this very moment, but I mean, it's cool that he is doing something of keeping them humble, keeping the players humble and grounded. Oh, I will admit that. So do you think? Oh, big up, Nolante. Big up. Do you think? Am I right? Do you think this? Do you think he's keeping as Pop's saying, keep your powder dry? It's only 6 games. We got a lot of work to do. We do, and that's what he's basically. Oh, yeah. He's basically got that mentality. I think like Virgil has it as well. I've heard him saying in press conferences as well. But I mean, look,
let's just relax and see where it takes us, because one setback or one injury in the wrong place and we're scrabbling around, or one bad run of form and we're looking back. So yeah, you got to take it piece by piece. But you break it up into blocks. All managers will tell you when they look at a season, they'll go, right, those 3 games, then the next 4. Then the next 2, they're difficult games. Then 3, they'll break it up into blocks. And his block now, like we were talking about, say, winning X amount of points, they'll be well on track, But we've been very lucky with injuries. But also, I think we've been lucky with injuries for a reason, because that doesn't happen by accident. And we've been playing well. So as long as it stays like this, we can get to a point where we can beef up the squad or improve the squad or change what he wants to change or whatever. But right now, yeah, it's very, very good. But it can change so quickly, So he's probably reached, like, sort of end of September is probably a good cutoff point. So then you'll come into more depth of games, and then you run up to Christmas. So I think we're probably we're top of the league, but we're running on a thin enough squad. So yeah, I'm happy, but I'm also, you kind of got one eye on the meter, as it were. You're always looking at that.
I think that the way that we're going about it as well, though, by getting through, as Trap Joe says, like ugly wins, because that's the narrative I've been seeing, is basically. And you can tell me if you in the chat believe this, or if you believe this as well, Brian, especially, because you can verbalize it at least. Do you think that, what's that, the paper bag or something like that, or paper tiger? Is a tiger in a paper bag, I guess, like as in, do you think that this has been, like, are we poised to really make a run for this title, or this title, with the way certain things are falling out? Or do you think that it's, oh well, it's the schedule, oh it's because we haven't really played this or that, or because the other teams that we are in contention with haven't really had their players, they've had tougher schedules? Do you think that's like do you think those things are involved in it as well? JK is with us, by the way. I'll bring in JK too.
If we stay lucky with injuries, we have a shot. We add 2 in January. If we can get to January, which is going to be really difficult, with with Josh Gravenberch. Seriously, Gravenberch every week, that's not going to be possible, and he's integral to what we do. So, we have some issues there. I think when we have our setbacks, we'll know. Hopefully, that won't be it with him. But yeah, if we can get it to Christmas where we are now, or thereabouts, but it's sort of like range anxiety, There's only this needs to be topped up at some point. It's how far can we get with it? And yeah, Christmas these games are going to start fucking piling up. They really are.
We have a
they
very
already are
hard. Yeah,
starting.
it's a very
Yeah, they
difficult
already
November.
are.
November is like November. I think is when you're really going to start to see. I mean, we even when we get back from international break, these
Top
games
teams everywhere.
start to really get
Chelsea,
very,
Madrid,
very,
Arsenal, all this kind of stuff, isn't it? That's like, yeah. I don't think we've had an easy start, but I think we've had a nice, manageable one.
right. I think the best thing about the start, and this is again like I remember we spoke on this quite a few times. I just wanted to have like a very similar run to Ange and his Spurs last year. Speaking of, since they won today, right? And in that they're winning games that they maybe should have won. I thought that it wasn't. I thought we did handle ourselves well in even the Wolves game as well. We've had one little. What I've seen us have is the Forest game was a little bit of a hiccup or a wake up, or in a sense, as yes, a low block team, our normal kryptonite got us on that particular occasion, but hopefully we learn from it and we can continue to build off of it, because we're going to see low blocks again. We're going to see low blocks / mid blocks, the whole nine. So and my apologies too, JK. I didn't mean to have you say.
No worries, bro. All good. I hope you guys are cool. I hope you guys are cool.
Good.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah. We're just chilling with the people in the house. Pops, Nalante, Bernie, Bonkers. Big up Bonkers, by the way. Reels and Jared's in the house now. Big up. Dario's in the house. Yeah. Some people that were here early from the gate, High Lore, and like Joe, Trap Joe, and everyone. Yeah, you know how it is. So we were just talking about. Do you think are you happy with what you've seen? Do you think that we have some real that is deserving of the acclaim that Slot's getting, that this team is getting, or do you think it's that we need to like dial it back? You know what I mean? And basically come through and
yeah. When it comes to me, like for me, I'm not going to go over the top. Like we're top of the league. Like if we went back, say, a month ago when the season started, and you said coming in like end of September we'd be top of the league, we would have taken that, also winning our first Champions League game. The only down point is that Forest game at home. Maybe that's better than losing to United away. So I'm going to just take it like that. But I just feel that if we strengthened maybe another midfielder plus Chiesa that we got in, it would have been ideal for us going into this season, because like Brian was just mentioning about Gravenberch, like last week against West Ham, Gravenberch wasn't even in the squad, and I think that them type of things are important. We still win 5-1. Virgil didn't play, so all these sort of rest moments they get is for the better.
Yeah. It was encouraging to see, giving Grav a rest. I know that. Well, we could say I know that Darwin needed the rest from the game, because he wasn't available. He wasn't in the lineup, but it was apparently because he was feeling ill.
Yeah.
But all this, I hope that he's had a complete recovery. But
ill and injured,
Dodgy Curry.
Yeah.
That's all it was. Yeah.
Dodgy Curry.
Yeah, but we can't handle chilies, maybe. That's probably
maybe.
That's probably what it is.
Maybe.
Also, you got to understand it's like that time of the seasons where it's like a month ago it was hot, everyone's wearing t-shirts. A month later, people are wearing like hats and stuff, So in England, the weather's just changed dramatically, and people are going to get ill.
It's flu season.
Yeah.
It is flu season.
Yeah.
I just said it earlier on when it came on. It was 20 yesterday. It's 10 today.
Yeah, that's
really cold today. So yeah, it is. It's. I still think Jota would have started, but it was. Yeah, unfortunate, but you get to break, I suppose.
Yeah.
Who's next, by the way? What's next?
Bologna.
What is next? And that's Wednesday, yeah?
Yeah, Wednesday. And
That's
Palace
plenty
away.
of time. That's plenty of time.
How do
That's
you
plenty
feel
of time.
about that then? How do you guys, and I'll start with JK, then I'll ask Irishman. And tell me in the chat too, how confident, you are. What do you want to do, a scale from 1 to 10? Like, do you believe that now that we're going to have Champions League, now we're getting into like these Champions League, international breaks, back to club life, do you believe that we can get through this patch of games? Do you think that this is where this slot is really going to find his measure? Or is it later on in like November, like I said, where we do have a very, very difficult patch of games to take on? Do you think it's right now, or do you think that it's going to that the storm is later on and that we have to get through? JK?
Yeah, look, we've got 2 games next week, so Bologna and Palace. Palace for me haven't been doing great, so that's one. Bologna, they got rid of Zerki and the defender who went to Arsenal, the Italian guy. So they're weakened in that way. For me, Zerki's not even that good, but I think them 2 games we should take care of business. And also, I don't really want to put no pressure on Slot. Like for me, he's come in and he's done a fine job. I wasn't his biggest fan before he came in because of the way he came in. Didn't really like it, but so far so good, I believe. So I think he's doing pretty well. He always also bigs up Klopp in his press conferences. Like he left him a good squad or wherever it is. So for me, I think he's happy.
Also, the reason why, if you're wondering, the reason why I'm saying November is going to be a tough run for us is because that's when we have Champions League against Leverkusen, albeit at home. Then we have Villa at home in league. And then we have Southampton on the road. And then we have Real Madrid at home for Champions League. So that's our November patch. That's we're going to see some very, very our biggest opponents in the Champions League so far, as we can say, will be right in that November little clip. But before we get to international break, we have Bologna, we have Crystal Palace away, and then we have Chelsea at home. Or no, Chelsea at home is after the break, actually. So we have just Bologna at home and Crystal Palace away. And then we go on international break, and then we come back to host Chelsea.
Like for me, that's cool because them 3 big games you was talking about, Leverkusen, Madrid, and Villa, all at home, and the Southampton away. For me, we should take care of that. So that's all good.
Yeah.
You're looking at like Youssef, for instance. Big up Youssef. Is saying. He's looking at the October 20th against Chelsea, and the big game against Arsenal. Yeah, the one against Arsenal is the big one for October. That's on the October 27th. We have Arsenal, and then we also have Chelsea, as I mentioned, at home. We've been fortunate. Have you think that we've been really, really fortunate with the fact that we've had a bit of home games? It just means that we're going to have away games later on in the schedule. A lot of away games, more heavily away game schedule towards the end of the season, or if not in the middle of the season here. But Irishman, you have a take on that on the 27th? Yeah,
it looks out. It, it's if you go and win them, then that's fine. Then you're looking at it. It's really hard to know because we've been in a position before where we've had those home games later on in the season, and it's done us absolutely no favors whatsoever. So I'd always be probably lean towards the side of points on the board, and then let someone else catch us up. So if you can get that 10, like we did when we won the league, when we were basically 10 points clear by the end of September, early October. And no one even noticed, and next thing you know, it's like, well, good luck catching that.
Yeah,
we had the league wrapped up, long before the thing was shut down. So if you can do that,
most people always want to connect it with the pandemic. Look, there's a lot. It's a lot deeper than that. We had the league pretty much like shut down by, or already done and dusted by that point.
Yeah,
So,
it can give you an opportunity then to go to these teams and be able to maybe try and control the game, not need to go and win.
mhm,
You know,
mhm,
I believe Slot might be better at a controlled game than
mhm,
Jurgen was. I think it comes more naturally to Arne Slot to play a control type of football with incision and goals involved. I think Jurgen was one of the things sometimes he didn't really know how to really cope with that. Not he couldn't cope, but it wasn't his way of doing things. He
mhm.
needed to have a he'd have a target, he'd have something to attack. You know, it was very difficult for him when a team wasn't involved in a game, no interest in playing a game. But I think Slot. So if you go, like, I'll take it as we get it. You know, let's put the points on the board, and then we go to these teams later on. But it just depends how it falls. You know, like if we didn't win those
Mhm.
games, then we're looking at it going, oh shit, now we have to go there, we have to go there, we have to go there, and we lost points, we dropped points. So it really doesn't matter if
Right.
you don't take advantage of them. You know, but I just like where we are at the moment, and I think. My pops says if you're talking about November, I think maybe we're not even into October yet. We're saying
I'm
which is
saying
going to be
November.
more
I'm saying
difficult.
November is like,
Yeah.
yeah. I was just saying. I think November is where like I think we're going to see that that thunder cloud or rain cloud that tries to rain on our parade. That's going to be in November because we're going to see some very tough opponents. But like I can understand also there's those that might think it's October is the storm cloud that we're going to have to really the major storm cloud that we're going to have to get through, and that's because we go to the Emirates and also we host a very informed Chelsea at the moment.
Oh
Chelsea have
hell yeah!
Chelsea has definitely stepped it up.
In,
Um,
in form. I mean, come on, man. This kid
yeah,
is this kid on
Palmer's
his
in
own.
form. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
on his own is just ripping it up. The team, even Nicholas Jackson is scoring goals.
yeah.
You know, so be careful what you laugh at because all of a sudden, you know, this is a team that can do you serious damage. You think this
Mhm.
kid is not the real deal? Like this kid will do this against Madrid. He'll do this against us.
Yeah.
He is serious, this kid. He's one of the best in the world already. And I'm not overselling that. This kid is on a different level to most other players right now. So, you know,
Okay.
this is a different Chelsea. Very much.
Mm-hmm.
So he remember
I
everyone's
think
calling
also,
him a penalty merchant. Remember
I
that?
think,
The penalty merchant
yeah,
Palmer stuff. Where's that shit now?
yeah,
Even
yeah,
English
yeah,
people
yeah,
are
yeah. But I mean, we've heard that about Mo Salah as well too. At one point of his career, I know people have oh, Mo Salah's got a lot of goals, but he's got also a lot of penalties in those goals. I'm just like, you still got to score the goals, man. Even if it's from the spot, you still got to score them. It's not always as easy as people make it seem. Very, very well schooled and you know, well schooled player. Definitely well schooled. And so there might be some in City wishing that he was still a citizen, but we do not care. I guess
Yeah.
we do
we
not
will
care.
when we're playing them. That's all I
I
worry about is when we come up
yeah.
against them. I don't like it.
Oh, I just meant from City. I was talking about City. That's all. That's
Oh, City, yeah.
yeah. City wanting him back probably by now because City have this thing. I mean, we have a situation where we have to we certainly while they deal with their attrition, we have to make the most of it. We have to keep pace. I think that's the greatest part and point about it is that we have dropped points against Forest. I get that, but I mean, other than that, we have kept pace, and we've certainly going to need to. We've seen City now draw 2 games in a row. I'll also say that kudos to you if you had a 2-2 going into the 90th minute at the Emirates for Leicester for Arsenal, then hey, your bingo, kudos to your bingo card there. But I mean, not I think many people did. I should say kudos because I did say I wanted a draw, but it didn't end up being a draw. It ended up being 4-2. So
No,
it
it's
didn't really
4-2.
matter.
So
Yeah.
No bingo.
Yeah, no bingo. I got my bingo card, did not happen. So yeah, but still the same. Like you can see that they're still trying to search for some parts of their identity in Arsenal, and you have a Villa team looking to try to solidify themselves. They're going to have Champions League. I know it was like brave to even think that they could possibly get a top four positioning. And now you have Chelsea, like we mentioned earlier, making a real run. It's going to be a very interesting year.
Dara and Helier is saying even Gundogan can't replace Rodri. No one can. It was so cute on, I think, Friday. Mateus Nunes came out and gave an interview talking about I've been here a year now, I've learned everything, I can step in, I can replace Rodri, and next game he's benched. Hilarious. But Dara was saying, like, same old Chelsea in defense. Yeah, I still expect us to beat them.
Yeah.
But they will be a whole other proposition. Mainly because you won't know who they're going to, like, you can probably say they're going to start him and him. But it could be Madueke, it could be Nkunku, it could be Mudryk, it could be this guy, it could be that guy. So that's another issue with them. But yeah, I would still expect us to beat them at Liverpool. But this Palmer kid, I'm not afraid to say it. Like, I think he's already right now one of the best players right now on form, and also probably ability wise in the top 10 in the world. Look at what he did for England when he came on the Euros. First touch was basically a goal from outside the box, 20 yards, cold as ice. We should have gone. Well, not that we could have, but I don't know what Man City were thinking, and I don't know what they're thinking now. Penny for Pep Guardiola's thoughts on this. You could have kept him and not bought Jeremy Doku, for God's sake. Just keep going on.
I heard a lot. Like I heard a Real Madrid fan basically he was making a pitch for Junior, being obviously like the to be Ballon d'Or, and they were pushing back with how Rodri possibly deserved it, and he was saying how Rodri doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. City is so well conditioned that they can win without Rodri, and I'm just like, I don't think, again, this is why sometimes when you get fans that watch other leagues, you're just like, I don't think
it's really hard for a DM to win it. It's so hard for a DM to win it. Like, that's so hard for a centre half to win it. Cannavaro had to win the World Cup.
Yeah.
It is really, really, like, and we've spoken on the Ballon d'Or before, but even at this level,
it says if not, it's twice as difficult as
if you're a striker or a winger.
Half. I was going to say, as a center half, it's more. I mean, like Virgil van Dijk.
A DM.
Yeah.
Who's voting for a DM? Nobody.
Right.
Nobody's voting for a DM. Like Busquets would probably come in, 7th or 8th in these games, because people would be like, "Oh yeah, he's awesome." So he's 8th on my list. But yeah, when there's a striker or a winger or something like that, they're always going to go with these people. So I just think to be the highest placed player on that as a DM or something like that, it kind of tells you that you are the best in the world. And it would be, sometimes ask the players themselves.
Yeah.
Like, they'll say, look, without Rodri, we ain't winning anything. Now, that's a bit oversimplification, of course, but they'll say, name the most important player in the team. Him. Name the best player in the team. Different.
Yeah, maybe a different story. Maybe a different conversation.
Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne.
They've got an interesting
but most important.
I wouldn't have even thought that, like, that Foden would be on the bench. I mean, Foden's on their bench at times,
Pure Pep,
Yeah, for Pep. And
yeah, pure Pep.
Yeah, it's one of those
Foden
cases.
walks into everybody else's team. He walks into the team. It's like it's Foden and who else up front.
Yeah.
But if you say who's your most important play, it'll be Rodri.
Take advantage of it. Some comments in the chat. I did see some comments in the chat. Everything. Stones also decent, have the legs. Oh, Stones doesn't have the legs anymore. That's what MK Toe is saying. Because Kovacic, it's going to be a lot placed on Kovacic's back, actually, or Kovacic, however you pronounce it.
You have Kovacic. Yeah, Kovacic, Nunes, Gundogan, and Stones. I talked about them as their 4 that they use. But yeah, Stones, it's not that he lacks legs. He just can't stay fit for any long period of time. But they also have that guy, we'll find out that there'll be some guy you've never heard of, Rico Lewis, Oscar Bob type dude. They'll start playing. I'll be like, who's this guy? Oh, some kid from their academy. Oh, guess what? He's unbelievable. Typical course he is.
Yeah, we don't go to the Etihad until February 22nd of next year, and then we host them on New Year's Day. No,
the league will be wrapped up in it.
Excuse me, December 1st.
Yeah. The league will be wrapped up in it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. We'll be good.
We'll be good. We'll be all right. That is true. I actually did mention something on that. The play of Dom, how the Dars bring up Elliott's return is going to be crucial. I think that we are looking forward to Elliott coming back to help solidify our midfield, to kind of like, obviously provide the depth that we know that he brings, because he is certainly a dynamic player in his own right. And I know there's some out there that aren't really sold on Dom, what he's doing in the 10. Go ahead, Brian.
Sorry, I was just saying you can say that again.
Yeah.
He's getting a lot of getting slings and arrows.
Flack. Do you think it's rightful? I mean, tell us in the chat too, if you think it's rightful, the flack.
JK, that's JK. Tom, what do you think about Tom?
Like, for me, I'm not really impressed with him yet. But for me, like, having an agenda already against him, it ain't going to do him no favors, Because when he plays for Liverpool, like, I know there's a player there. And for me, yesterday, he wasn't really in the game. Hence why sometimes, like, when I look at McAllister and I look at Gravenberch, them two guys cover a lot of yardage as well. But defensively, they're better than Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai is a flair player. He likes them little one touches, whatever he does, But I think sometimes people forget that he's coming from an attacking world, that's his game, into a defensive setup with Klopp and now with Slot. So for me, I'm not really too bothered about it, but for me, I just want to see a bit more from him. Like yesterday, he should have scored, for example. Hit it right at the goalie, It was a great cross, bang, should have been a goal. But for me, I don't understand how footballers can spend their whole season moaning about a certain player, Joe Gomez got it back in the days, remember? And for me, last season, Joe Gomez was probably our player of the season. So that's what football is like, Sometimes people forget things happen, like off the pitch as well. It can affect the players' quality on the pitch. I don't like this new age of football fans moaning 24/7. The only thing I'm moaning about is that the owners didn't put enough money into the kitty to get an extra midfielder, what we really needed, like a DM. For me, that's the only thing we got to moan about, really. Nothing about the players. So for me, Szoboszlai started most games, and we won most games.
Yeah.
Even though he hasn't been the best player in that first 11,
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna say, I think that, like, with Dom, and I'm gonna get your insight as well, Brian. But with Dom, I think that people are. It's almost like I wouldn't say we put Hendo in the 10 in essence, because Dominic offers and has in his wheelhouse a lot more offensively that he could probably display than a Henderson, obviously in that role. But I also think that this is a new role for him, and he's going to grow into it, and we have to somewhat allow for him to grow into it. But sometimes I think people are undervaluing his engine and the kind of like that unsung hero or unsung work that he puts in, despite the fact that he's not getting the results that everybody really wants to see, which is, I guess, goals and the likes. Go ahead, Brian.
To me. Okay. Normally, I would push back on what you said there about work rate and running around and working hard. Because for me, that's the stuff that comes for free. It doesn't cost you anything to run around and work hard. Okay, you don't need to be busy. You don't need where to run. You need to learn that. But I'll take this in two parts. Number one, with what Slot said, yeah, you're playing for Liverpool. You're playing in an attacking midfield role. The question was, what more do you need from me? He said, you need to up your goals, basically. Same thing he said about Diaz. Diaz has done it. You know? You're an attacking midfielder. Oh, what to get last year? He did it in 2 press conferences. Asked the guy beside him what were the numbers last year. He goes, oh, okay, yeah, no, that's not enough for a Liverpool attacking midfielder. Yeah, that's what you need to do more. That is, everything else is perfect. Everything else is great. But you're an attacking midfielder for Liverpool. You play number 10 for Liverpool. At the end of the season, yeah, everything else is cool. But you're going to be judged on your numbers, what you do for the club, what you do for us, was how he's putting it. Which I'm perfectly on board. That to me is like, cool. Yeah, exactly. That's all we've ever really wanted. I see him as a guy who can score more. But I would back you up in terms of what's being ignored, because I've just seen over the last maybe 3 games where it's just been instantly get him off, he's shy. He's fucking useless. Get rid of this guy. What's he doing at the club? Sell him. I mean, it's just like, whoa, hang on a minute. Can we just relax? Can we just, yeah, so can we pull, and from some people who I really respect and, normally wouldn't speak like that about players, but I've just seen, like, from some people seem to have not an agenda, but have just made, like, this guy is trash. This guy is useless. We need to get him off the pitch. As usual, he's having a bad game, all these things. And he was actually pretty terrible yesterday. So they had loads of stuff to work with. But it was like 20 minutes in. It's like, can we just,
Oh, no, what Youssef is saying, I think it's like, yeah, he's being used as a workhorse. Don't think that was his game at Leipzig, but I mean,
he's not being used as a workhorse now. Yeah. He's not being used as a workhorse right now. He's been not in this side. This isn't what he was doing.
I mean, he
is working, but he's he's playing again. They work, so. Right. He will get better. Like, I just think what I said earlier on, I was on Quasi's show before I came on here, and I just said, look, this guy has all the ability and all the quality in the world. Whatever is going on with him right now, in terms of it not quite working, it's just between his ears. It's something going on in his head. And as soon as we get that worked out and he gets more confident, basically, one good pass. That's all you have to do.
Oh, no, I believe that.
One good pass.
One
and
good
then another
goal.
good pass.
I was hoping that goal. Yeah, I was hoping the goal that he got recently was going to be the one that made him click.
Just and kind build of on it.
Yeah, just build and just like continue to build. Because look, Lutro said it himself in an interview. I saw a great interview that was
trying. He's a young player. Well, I said that. Sorry, I said that on Quasi's. Just quickly, I said on Quasi's. Everybody looks at him and just kind of thinks he's like 26, 27. He's still a young player.
Yeah,
he is still a young player. This is only his 2nd season with a brand new manager. And apparently he's had some personal issues as well and all that off the pitch. So, I mean, I'm not for selling this guy. I mean, okay, in 2 years' time, if he's still absolute trash, yeah, whatever. But right now, it's like, I'm not for selling this guy. No, I think he's got a role to play in this team. And like you said, he started every game. And we're only lost 1.
Yeah. No, I
agree with what Youssef just wrote there about he's sort of like a Hendo sort of situation. He's playing on the right.
Yeah.
Henderson, for me, he did a top job for Liverpool anyway. But I think as a midfielder, the modern day midfielders, you got to cover grass. Yeah. He does that, He does that. But for me, yesterday in the game against Wolves, there was a situation where Wolves came straight through our midfield twice within a few minutes of each other, And Sabotrai was sorry. He was sort of blame. He let the guy just run sort of past him. But as
he got done twice.
He then got done twice, and like as I keep saying, he's a flair player. Hence, why he's not going to be really getting stuck in. Say like the way McAllister does. Like for me, McAllister, he gets stuck in, But for me, Sabotslai is a bit more of an engine. He can get about a bit, and I don't really understand. Like, you can say he hasn't been great, but there's a player, or Brian, saying whatever is happening between his ears. Could be the possibility.
I've seen his interaction. His interaction. It's not like he's moping around. It's not like he's in some funk or something like that. That you could tell that he's just not really clicking, or he's like detaching himself from the group. It's again going back to what I was saying earlier about the fact that we are unique. I think it's a unique situation because not every clubhouse is a well, well structured, well knit group that really care about each other, and I think that you do see that on this team. You do see a lot of like, it's not cliques like somewhat similar in other teams where like it'll be this group, there's a pro manager group, there'll be or anti manager group, there'll be like like the Sancho and Rashford, and that kind of stuff, and pulling themselves away from the entire group. Like you have something in this group where he's going to have the resources to breathe and basically figure it out. And what Pops are saying too, spot on, because look, if he wasn't getting it in training, if he wasn't doing something that this manager wanted from him in this system, he wouldn't be playing. And we would figure out another such solution, and have already been working it out. So
he might be a confidence player. He might be a little bit of a confidence player. And I don't mean in terms of he has to be playing well, because I've seen him not dominate, but I've seen him be the most influential player on the pitch for Hungary in big games, international games against better sides. Captain in his team, taking all the set pieces, doing that, being a real influence. Like you watch him play for them in a game that means something, that matters. He didn't have good Euros, but in the qualifiers, he's a guy that I try to you can kind of get the Gerrard vibe, because driving him from midfield, taking long shots, taking all the free kicks, taking the corners, being the best set piece taker. It is that kind of vibe from him. So you see, he has that ability and that mentality. And let me tell you, I don't know if anyone here has ever been to Hungary. That is a seriously tough country. Those people are tough people. They're hard people. Like it's a serious country over there. Like that, you don't get into those leagues and do well without being. They're harsh people. They have to take shit seriously. He knows what it's like to perform under big fucking pressure. Yeah. All that country's pressure on his shoulders. 21 years old, captain in his country, trying to qualify for Euros. 22. So there's a serious player in there. We saw what he did at JK. I'll tell you what he did at Leipzig. How good he was, what he can do on the ball. So it's about taking that player and convincing him that he can be that player in the Premier League, that he just has to unlock that confidence or whatever it is to go and do what he does for his country. He's not, look, we've got Trent and so he's not going to be taking all our set pieces, but he can be just as influential on the pitch with what he does.
Yeah.
It's about unlocking.
You're right. He's taking corners. He's standing over set pieces with Trent nowadays. He is at some set pieces at least, or some free kicks. He's obviously one of the
he's one of the group. Yeah. No, it's just he's one of the group. Like if Trent isn't on the pitch, he's probably one of the next up.
Yeah, I mean, heck, if Salah wasn't on the pitch, there could be an argument that he might be the person asked to step up and take the penalty.
Oh, that's McAllister for me, but it's always was. Still is. McAllister has a phenomenal penalty record. So
but Dom has a phenomenal.
Oh yeah. But if you see, even when Robbo was off, Dom would take left side of corners a lot. If Trent didn't want to take both, so he can do it, man. He's got it. Like it's just unlocking it. You can do it on the world stage.
Oh, you're talking about corners. They're talking about spot kick. Okay, yeah.
Just he's got it.
Let me give you some quotes that Slot said. We're almost at the top of the hour. We're going to get right in after these quotes. We're going to get right into the ratings. I know it's the part that everyone loves to get involved in. So these are some quotes from Slot. These are some of his comments after the game. He says, "We still have yet to prove that if we come across Arsenal, Newcastle, Chelsea, and Aston Villa, that we can still be up there with Champions League games included as well." Slot said 2 years ago was the last time they played in the Champions League, and they finished fifth. Everybody is realistic. All the players have so much experience that they understand that 6 games into the season does not give you a realistic view of the table. This is where I was saying the 19 one. That is more like after 19 games. But of course, it helps us if you get some good results, especially if you bring in a new manager and a new staff after such a successful one. If we had lost 4 or 5 out of those first 6 in the league, life
look, Arnie,
would have been a bit different. You know what I mean? Yeah,
you'd be on a beach in Dubai, Arnie.
yeah,
You wouldn't be in Liverpool anymore.
Exactly. And that's why one of the reasons why, like, you know, people are just waiting. They're like, oh, what's the drop off from Klopp going to be like, and how are they going to like be able to do this and do that, or after Forest lost, was this the new manager bounce and blah blah. It's one of those cases where they're all just like this. They're all ready for it. We're all ready for the downfall. Not here on this channel, and not here in the chat.
Yeah. Like for me, then what type of people are these type of people? You know.
Yeah.
You got it. Like,
Usually
how can you
Everton
change your
fans.
mind? Say again, bro.
Usually Everton fans.
You know what I mean? But like that's what I don't want to happen to our fan base. Like when you look at our fan base, it's been pretty cool considering when you compare them to United and Arsenal fan bases.
That's why I try to warn people about, like, or at least my personal opinion is that, like, you see a lot of these other channels out there. They bring on people to represent Liverpool and the likes, and they try to bring out the most chicken littles, the most chicken littles they can find out there, which is like, this guy is falling, but you're in first place. This guy's falling.
Yeah,
top of
that's
the
what
league.
it is now. They're just waiting like vultures, Like when all these fans are doing watch-alongs, not Liverpool fans, these are United and Arsenal. They're bloody doing watch-alongs for our games. Why? Because when their other team scores, they're there cheering.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Simple as like I saw that. I told you I was watching the club, and we're gonna get into it right now with the ratings. Give us 1 second. I just want to finish one little thought. Yeah, I was watching the club, which is like, Adam, McKenna, Rory, Boovy, who's Booby. Oh man. And they had like some I think he was an AC Milan fan. And I just found out what he was. Like, he was wearing an AC Milan kit, but he is a Fulham fan. I did see an episode where he did say the team that he does support. And they're doing the watch along for they're doing the AC Milan watch along. And they celebrated as if, they celebrated so loud when Pulisic scored that opening goal. They celebrated so well, and then all of a sudden they started talking about, as the game went on, you saw the spirits go down like that. They started talking about other topics, you know what I mean, other subjects. They weren't even talking about football at some points during the watch along, because it was just like, it's just sad. It's just sad that they just all want to see our downfall. So that's why I'm like, step it up. And even on, like I said, on some other channels out here, you'll see these guys out here and they're just like, oh my gosh, woe is me. The Reds are so bad. We're so bad. Look, let's just enjoy the good fortune that we have and can keep it moving. We move. And with that,
right, Michael. Michael's right. Modern football is as much about laughing at rivals these days, sadly. For a lot of people, I think that is probably I think there's basically laughing at rivals.
Yeah. We did it, and now we're open. We did it at the start of the show.
We did, yeah, but we very rarely do that. That's not really our style. We were just doing it because we haven't been on a while. We're trying to catch up on a few things.
Yeah.
And we're waiting for some people to come in as well.
Mm-hmm.
But waiting for the chat to fill up as much as anything else. But I was just going to say, like, laughing at rivals, winning at transfers, and then winning games. In that order, it is for a lot of modern fans. They care more about laughing at rivals, winning transfer window, and then, did you win a game at the weekend? Oh yeah, whatever about that. I don't care because Arsenal lost. Those are the people I don't understand at all. It should just be, what was the result? That was number one most important thing. Did you win at the weekend? Everything else comes afterwards. But hey, I suppose if you do it right, it can be fun. But if you don't do it right, it's very tiring.
don't use. I'm not saying super chats, by the way, or any of that crap. Don't use super chats to do this. But like, yeah, if you're in those forums on some of those other channels, be like, hey, like, can we call it out? I know Nolante, big up to Nolante. He's been been going on
The Avenger.
That's I forget about Don Husam's channel, and calling out and being like, hey, like, why don't you come on the channel, have a little chat, or like, on some like the Terrace or any of these really big platforms, like you'll see on there that they tend to not have people not to have the most positive or not to have the most like grounded perspective. I hear guys on there saying like we as being like Liverpool, like this is how we do it. And I'm like, yeah, but you're the same guy that likes two teams in the Premier League. You're the same guy that like, has like Real Madrid kits and Barcelona kits, like, come on, let's bring it down.
That's the vibe now,
it is.
Negativity pays,
Yeah, exactly.
But what these people don't understand, it affects your health. If you're always negative, you're going to be more likely to become ill. Positivity is like it's a protection thing for your soul. Like, you're positive, it's harder to break through you, and I think what it is for me, it was a wonderful thing where football fans around the world can get onto a show on YouTube and start talking football. But when you really look at it,
how about that? How about we're doing it here? Let's do it. We can talk some football right now. How about that? When we get into the ratings, let's get into these ratings, people. In a game that everyone will openly admit was not exactly I wouldn't call it a snore fest. Some people were like, oh, it's a snore fest or something. I don't think that at all, actually. I mean, it was you had a Wolves team that really wanted to fight for a result. Obviously,
finally some fucking somebody saying, like, acknowledging the fact that there was actually another team out there that did stuff.
Yeah,
that's really starting to annoy me this year. Like, somebody put it brilliantly. They said Liverpool only win games because they played brilliantly, i.e. the other team wasn't bad or anything, and they only lose games because they were terrible, not because the other team was good. Like, I saw one person say Forest played well and one person say Wolves actually did a good job at trying to stop us.
Yeah.
We do need to acknowledge sometimes that there's actually another team out there with professional players that they're not just going to roll over and let us score goals.
Yeah.
Look
at these stats. I'm looking at it like now. Total shots, Liverpool 10. Total shots, Wolves 8. We obviously the XG was much higher, and that's the one thing that I can say about this defense. Look, we have a defense is the best. We have all this talk about Saliba and Gabriel and how they have
good
the best
players, good defenders,
good players. But like, as in, let's not get twisted. We have a good system as well that doesn't really right now that is working, and it's giving shots off, albeit we are getting shots taken out shots. Pause on that one. We're getting shots, but we also have like a case where they're not good shots. There's a big difference, big difference, and that's the difference. As in, out of those 8 shots, there's only 2 saves that Ali had to make in this game, for instance. Big difference. And also, what I can say too, I'm calling this out. I know Brian, I know JK, we've all spoken on this like at length. But we start getting results from set pieces, they can end up being very influential markers for our games going forward. When you're dealing against these low blocks or teams that want to sit back and really super defend, if we can start getting these set pieces as goals, it's going to be a difference maker. For a little bit of time, we were very, very vaunted in the air. I thought we haven't seen this kind of performances from Ibu since probably like City back in the day. Now all of a sudden he's really resurging. He's going Hulk mode when it comes to those corners, and Virgil as well, silky smooth as he is. We need we start getting some goals from pieces like that. We're going to see a real difference, I think. And we have. Let's get into this.
No, I think you're just Virgil would balk at the idea that he goes Hulk mode. You'd be like, dude, I never even break sweat.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. That's the BBD silky smooth. He's like the Colt 45,
exactly. He's like
Billy D Williams settings.
I haven't lost my cool in 27 years.
Yeah. Oh man. Big up to Marion, by the way. Big up, Marion. Good to see you. One of our Reds in the house. Big up to Michael Corleone, LFC, by the way, too. Didn't get a chance to say hello to you guys.
I don't want to be cheesy, but I know there's a couple of new people in the chat, and we've got over 20 likes. So if you haven't hit see how many we can get, because that's a good number for us. So
and it's well appreciated too, because it helps the algorithm, helps to push the algorithm, and all the whole nine. Yeah, Colt 45. Colt 45 back in the day. I think I have a Colt 45 t-shirt or something like that, vintage t-shirt or something like that.
Because you're going to say you have one in your drawer.
No, and I pull up the 40 right now. No, I'm not doing that. No, that's not happening. All right, let's get into these ratings and then tell me how you guys are feeling about this. I know we'll go quickly today because I know a lot of these scores we don't really have to go too in depth with some of the scores. But I guess if there's something that gets a little high or something a little low, you can explain it away. But what were your ratings for JK? What were your ratings for Ali? And tell us in the chat too.
You know what? He did some good saves actually.
Mm-hmm.
I think he played pretty well. First game coming back from injury. I'm going to give him a 75.
Okay. Brian?
Yeah, I think the goal was just as much his fault as Ibu's. I think that's actually been I think it was actually 50-50. When he went too late. I will give him a 62.
Okay. There's a little there's definitely diversity in the ratings in the chat.
As always.
Yeah, certainly. Ranging from 65 to about 80 is the range. I had him at 70 actually.
Yeah, Michael Corleone was with me. He said that guy was the goal. I'm assuming it was 40% his fault.
Yeah,
but,
I saw. Yeah,
I have a theory on that goal, which I'll talk about when we do Canate.
Okay. I think 70 is safe. 70 is safe. 72, 70s. I know you guys had them in the 60s, 65s, or at least 65 and up. I think 70 is safe. Good. Yeah, they've got to work out something with communication. I'm sure they will. I know that I saw them talking to each other, and it's Ibu trying to be as respectful as possible. But it did change. We'll speak on Ibu. We'll wait. Ibu's coming up.
Yeah, but for me, Alisson should have as soon as Ibu sort of did that positioning where he was allowing the ball to be collected. Yeah. I think Alisson should have just took charge of that situation.
You're right, too late.
Yeah.
Let's go on to our captain. I don't understand why Terry, again from the terrace, was trying to say that Virgil van Dijk was at fault for that goal. I don't understand where and why he was saying that. I did watch the game back, but I didn't really see what he saw. I don't think that it was Virgil had a major influence in that one. I think that was just a miscommunication between Ibu and I guess unless you're trying to say that Virgil van Dijk should have shouted for one of them to take it or something. I don't know, but
that guy's weird. Stop talking.
Yeah, that guy's weird. There's the clue. That guy's weird. Irishman, what would you say Virgil was at for you yesterday?
65. Just
65. Okay.
yeah, I don't know. He quiet.
And you can always ask me if you need stats or anything like that. Just tell me.
No, I did, but I did kind of bone up a little bit, no did he? But I did before, and I'm comfortable with my ratings
Okay.
on them.
Okay. Yeah, in the chat, if you guys need stats, just to like give yourselves some little bit of clarity for your scores, just ask in the chat. Don't hesitate. I will hook it up. I love stats. Don't want to be, but I don't want to be too stat laden. JK, how about for you?
I'm gonna give him a 70. I don't think Wolves, like, he wasn't really pressured in the game and stuff. We only allowed that silly goal in, by our own mistake. He wasn't really involved in that situation. By the point where he came across like he just left the nightclub, like
yeah.
the way it was stupid. I was like, Virgil, clear it, and he was like, he wasn't expecting that situation to happen. Hence why he got caught on his feet there, Virgil. But for me, 17.
I thought, there were parts and points where I thought Virgil was like, in the commentators were saying it too, like cool, calm, and collected. He, just doing Virgil things, doing Virgil type things. Big up KJ, by the way. Big up. I had him originally at a 69, but I'll definitely bring that up to like a 70.
Hey, Lee.
How about 70?
Sorry, JK.
70.
Or KJ. Sorry.
Big up Lee. Big up Lee. Good to see you as always, brethren. He made a mistake. Had two basic saves to make Ibu. Ibu can, yeah, definitely. How about for you guys asked for him, man himself, by the way, having one of the best having a great after game interview. I don't know if you guys saw the game. If you haven't seen the after game interview, you definitely have to check it out. Ibu is definitely can bring the laughs, and Gravenberch and Ryan and Ibu were definitely hamming it up in the when he had to give. I guess in on pitch side, I think Gravenberch won man of the match. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the chat or on the panel. I don't know. So Ibu, I think, had to like hand over the award, and he was like, I scored the game before, I score in this game, then I come back, I save, I make a like a sliding save. What more do I have to do? That's what he was like. I gotta hand this award to Ryan. He was not having it, man. He was not having it. Ibu, big up to you, brother. Big up. What was your rating on Ibu? I think we will start with. I'll start with JK. I think you're up.
Like, for me, for that interview, I'll give him 100.
Right.
Like, in the history of watching the game, I've never really ever seen a player do that. Sort of big himself up. I got a game. I got a goal. Like, that don't happen in football. That's why I loved it. I was like, I watched it back 2 or 3 times now. And that's what, like, for me, remember we had a chat about 3 months ago about Kanate at the end of last season. And we were like, we weren't really happy with the guy. We thought,
absolutely.
He sort of petered off, I think. Hence why he didn't go to play in the Euros. But this season, different kettle of fish, he looks a bit more disciplined, a bit more concentration in his game.
Yeah.
And he's got a big personality, Ibu, And that's why I like him to show more personality on the pitch. And I think next to Virgil, he's sort of taking control of the back sometimes, Ibu seems to be involved in the game quite a lot. I thought he got another goal. So I'm going to give him at 80, I will.
Yeah. Brian, how about for you? I'm bringing in, showing some of the scores from the chat as well as you speak. Go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of conflicting things going on. I said it before, when you're as big and as fast as he is, you don't even need to be that good at football to be dominant in his position.
In his position.
He is unbelievably big and strong and rapid. If you're good at football, added to that, then and he is also very, very good.
Right.
So he should be fully confident. He should be kind of the perfect player as the center half. As Slot said last week, people are underestimating how good he is on the ball. He did, like JK said, he did drop off. Again, all about what's between the head or between the ears. It was all clearly a few injuries, knocks. We spoke about it. Too many knocks. He needs to stay fit.
Yep.
And now he's staying fit, and now he's doing what he needs to do. So he is another top player in there that we're just seeing the best come out of. I mean, the Kwanzaa thing was very, very funny. I thought, Kwanzaa comes in and the whole condolences thing, and then guess what? Condolences to you, my friend. You were taken off at halftime, and this guy has taken your spot since. So, what goes around comes around, and that's teaching him a lesson in football, not just in football, but in life. That, here you can be on top 1 minute, take the king's crown, that you can lose that crown as well if you don't play well. That's teaching
that mountain. That mountain has another side. Yeah, that mountain has another side.
Exactly. So these guys are coming in. I didn't notice what someone said there about someone taking the piss out of him for forgetting the goal he conceded, and Jimmy saying he didn't like it. I didn't see that bit from Slot, but I just will say, and it just was I want to say about Canada. To me, on that goal, and I don't want to go down the if you've played football route, but if you've played football, to me, what looked like happened there was that ball landed exactly equidistant from both of those players, i.e. Ali and Kanate. If that ball was a yard closer to Ali, he's coming out and taking it. If it's a yard closer to Kanate, he's taking it. It just landed in the exact spot where to Kanate, it looked like it was Ali's. To Ali, it looked like it was Evil's. If it had been a yard or 2 yards closer to either player, it would have been obviously their ball. And I think that was just, it landed in the one spot where they were both going, they just stopped for that vital half second. And then Ali reacts too late. And it's like I said, if that had been a yard closer to Ibu, that's his ball and he knows it. A yard closer to Ali, it's his ball and he knows it.
Yeah,
it's just it happened right in that one little spot where they both kind of looked at each other and they both realized at the same time, oh shit, he's not
right. He went from hero to
Ali
zero.
Comes out too late.
Hero. He went from hero to zero to hero, or back again. I mean,
those things happen. He was dealing with his man. You can see him slow up, deal with his man, expecting Ali to come out. Now there should have been a shout. Whose shout should it have been? I think it's Ali's shout. It's not Ibu's shout. If that ball is there, it's always the keeper's shout to go either mine or clear it. So to me, it was
you're right about that. You're right about
communication.
It's the keeper.
Exactly. You were a keeper. You will know
situation.
exactly. Yeah. So I thought straight away, well, that's a communication problem. Where was the shout?
Yeah.
So because, like I said, it just dropped. So you're looking at the guy. Well, it's yours, right? Because you're looking at the ground level. He's looking at the ground. He's holding off the guy. So it only takes that split second. And then the next thing you know, you've got a problem. Ali's come out and then tries to go back again. It's like, oh shit, no. And then they took it. But look, that's it. That's it. It happens. And anyway. Oh, thanks, Jimmy. I didn't think it was too bad. Thanks, Jimmy.
What's that? I didn't see it. What was Jimmy saying?
I won't repeat it. I just.
Oh, okay. No worries. Okay, so I saw a lot of 70s. I saw a 70 from Philip. I saw an 80 from Michael Corleone, LFC. I saw a 75 from Bernie, 75 from KJ. Let's see, it's 70. Well, Marion, I know Marion, and Marion loves herself some Ebo, so gave him. He's so sweet. She gave him a 95. Trap Joe gave him a 75. Kanate got an 80 from Jimmy. I think that it was a good. I thought it was a good game for him. He made up for it. It's about, sometimes players are going to make mistakes in the game. It's about how you bounce back from that mistake. I think mostly for me, you know, if you get lost in your mistake or if you get lost in the moment. I know I had him at a little bit of like I think I had him at a 70. So I'll definitely.
Oh, sorry, I didn't. I
at
actually
least.
didn't give him a rating. Sorry, I didn't rate him.
What was the rating? Yeah.
Yeah, 80. Yeah, I'll give him 80. Yeah.
What was JK? What was your score for him? Did you give a rating score? I don't know if you did.
Yeah, I gave him an 80 as well, bro.
80, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
we're good on 80.
Yeah.
We're good on
80.
We're on the same page. We're on the same page. Yeah. Could have been
mark
higher.
the date in your diary.
I think it was like
in your diary. We all agreed. Mark the date in your diary.
Yeah.
We all agreed on something. So it was the 29th of September in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Player that I thought was very underappreciated in this game. I thought that this player had a good game. Some for some reason we're still trying to point out Robbo as like, you know, trying to work their agendas, I guess. But what was your rating on Robbo? What was your rating on Robbo? Irishman, you can go first this time, and then we'll go to JK.
Yeah, pretty quiet, wasn't it? No. When we scored that goal, I just thought, oh, nice one, Robbo. You know, what a cross. Mm-hmm. And then I went to replay. I was like, oh, it was Jota, because, you know, it was right from that kind of Robbo position. It looked like a beautiful cross in. So I was kind of thinking, oh, Robbo's got a great assist there. But yeah, so I suppose he just kind of locked it down, didn't he? Kept it solid.
Yeah.
You know, just, 60. Yeah, just cool.
Okay.
Cool game.
60, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about for you, JK?
I think he had a good game. I'll go 65 with him. He came off at the end. But I think Robertson, you know, he's been like.
Sorry, JK, to interrupt you. Did he go off injured, or did he just?
I think he sort of got a bit of a kick, didn't he?
No, it can't. It technically was, or at least it got written or marked down as a injury substitution.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry, JK. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that he's been our left back all season, the top of the league. You know, you're not going to get the same player we had 5 years ago with Robertson. You know, it's the same guy, but a different type of play. Yeah. In a weird sort of way, I'm actually happier that he's not full pelt 24/7s because he's more disciplined when he does that. You know, I don't mind if he does it at Anfield, where he puts his foot down a bit more because we're at home. But in away games, he looks a bit more chilled. Hence why he looks good. You know, I think that's the only problem with Robertson. He runs in like a bull in a china shop. You know, he's very like into situations. He'll run past the game. Actually, sometimes I've seen it where the ball's there and the situation, and he's run past it because he's so fast and energetic that he has to come back. And I think this season, I've seen him actually chill in that way, and it's good to see. I know people are going to be moaning about Robinson, but for me, there's no need. Look what he's done for the club. You know,
I don't understand how that card. I thought that was a red card. To be honest with you, that was a very poor. That
was a poor challenge.
If you can rake your cleats on the back of someone's, you know, like calf or Achilles, like he ended up almost pretty much doing.
I think Jota should have been sent off with his challenge.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say that we did. Was it Jota that did that?
Yeah, it was Jota. Yeah,
on Lamina.
Yeah,
on Lamina, that looked like absolutely nothing until they showed like the fourth replay, and then you saw the way Jota got him. You're like, no, it was exactly the same, right down on the back of the ankle.
Yeah,
like that. Yeah, they are like, if Jota had gotten a red for that, and you saw the you would have gone, okay.
Like Fernandez, he got the red card today. His challenge didn't look that
same
bad
challenge,
compared to them.
Apparently.
The
same type. It was the same type of challenge.
Yeah, same type.
Right down the back. Yeah. But that's what I'm
me,
saying. Maybe
challenges are straight red cards for me. Anyway,
they hurt like a fucker. That's all I know.
Oh, they're the worst.
That's and also the Achilles back, the calf and Achilles.
There's no protection. There's no protection on the back. Yeah, zero protection. You've got your
skin. I'm not saying that Robbo is injured or not. I know the High Lord's also saying Slot said Robbo should be ready for Monday. I was just saying that it could have been just all precautionary. I know I showed the picture of Simicast with the ice wrap, and like maybe that influenced him not being chosen to be the deputy or a deputy to come on for. It was only for what
Gomez,
for a minute
But-
or so, but still.
Just quickly on what the lads are saying, this will get you more Roberts. Robertson playing at 100 miles an hour clock football. He wouldn't be able to do that now. Playing a much more reserved role,
reserved,
going every now and again, not being up and down all the time. We'll get more years. Like I was on Quasi Show earlier on, and people were bringing up two players, right? Robbo was one of them, and Salah was the other. I was like, lads, you can go and find problems wherever you want to find them. You will, and there are real problems you can find. Why are you going to Robbo and Salah trying to find a problem? These players are not problems. These are not problems.
I've said, I've called, this is my little, you know how I like to try to like coin things that when you do hear them on other channels, you'll know where you heard it first probably. But Scapegoat FC is a real thing. You have to find some boogeyman, some scapegoat to kind of be like, oh, we played well, right now. This player didn't do this, or
that's Dom right now. As far as I can see right now, that's Dom, but we'll come on.
Dom. At one point it was, at some points it's Cody. Last year it was Cody.
And
this year, right now, as of yesterday, from what I can tell, it's Dom number 1 and Mo Salah number 2 is where the ire is being directed.
The Salah thing, I have no idea.
The winner, man.
I know.
No idea where that's coming from. Salah.
I know.
If you go,
and like I said, from some people,
maybe at Salah's level, maybe you're not. Maybe a player's not playing at the level of. It's the same thing about Trent. It's the same thing about Trent too. People, have been commenting about Trent and this and that, and I'm like, okay, he didn't have a Trent-esque day, but I mean, his 7 is still other people's 8s or 9s,
Simple
So, so again? Let me just refresh me again. What did you guys do, Rob? You said 65, right?
65. Yeah, 65.
Okay. I had him in the 70s, I know, or something like that. Let's see. I had him at a 71. I think I'm trying to see what other people put in the scores here for Robbo. A lot of 60s. Like Mike Corleone 65, Marion 65, Jimmy 65. Wow, you guys are pulled down by 71. Hyler, okay, big up Hyler. You gave him a 72. Help us out here. Bernie trying to hold it down too, 70. We're trying to hold Robbo at the 70. If the streets were here, I'm sure you'd probably give him like a 75, something like that. Yeah.
No. Pops is here, so I got to hold back on the criticisms because I don't want to name and shame.
Yeah. But all right, cool. We'll give him a 68. That's it, because there's a lot of those 65s. Give him 68.
I can't drive. 65.
I thought he played well for that troop. And
what's that thing? I can't drive.
Gave 89 minutes. Would have played the full 90. Didn't really see, again, like had one interception, was 89% for his passing, 1 key pass, 3 out of 9 for his crosses. I will think the one thing I will say about Robbo that I wasn't exactly super happy about was like there were a couple of crosses he would do. Like I know they vary the crosses. Sometimes you do the high crosses, sometimes you do the low crosses. He did a couple of low crosses where I'm just like, that's real. I know you're trying to get pinballed, like trying to have the pinball action go on.
He tries to be too precise. Robbo mastered that ball. There's that undefendable ball, what they call the corridor of uncertainty, which is what I was speaking about earlier on, which is the corridor of uncertainty, which is when a guy plays a ball in front of, behind a defender, but in front of a keeper. And the keeper doesn't come for it, the defender don't come for it, and the forward nips in. That's the corridor of uncertainty. Crazy uncertainty between the keeper and the defender. Robbo is really good at bending that ball in there. So he tries to do it all the time. Now, I don't mind, because when they come off, they're undefendable. It's a tap.
They're undefendable.
Basic.
But,
it's a tap it. Basically, like with the Sabo one.
Yeah.
Now, if Ali saves the Sabo one, we're all like, wow, Ali, amazing. But at the same time, Sabo shouldn't be giving him a chance. But kind of unlucky. I'm 50-50 on that one. But I know what you're saying. That ball in needs to be perfect, or else it's kind of shit.
Yeah. Sometimes, hey, I get the whole Defies lunch, but well, and not going. I'll get into Tyler's comment in a second. How about for Trent? Okay, you want to start us off with Trent? What was your score for Trent?
I'm going to give him a 65, same as Robbo. Wasn't really too involved in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we still won. So for me, 65 is cool.
Give him some stats. As soon as he said wasn't too involved, you want to go on. Give some stats.
Oh, you're going to diss me now.
No. I think that I'm same agreement. I thought that Trent had I think Robbo had a better game than Trent, to be honest with you.
Definitely.
I know I might not be saying much, but I still do think that the chat's with you. 65 from Bonkers, 63 from Trap Joke, 62 from Jimmy, 65 from KJ. I saw some earlier scores too. They're all like that high 60s. I think I had them at a 66 was my score originally. Trent got 60 from Aaron. Okay. Tyler said 70. He just wants to mention that if Trent is to be our next captain, he can't keep getting yellow cards. That's one of the reasons why I went low. If not, I was going to go lower, because Trent's got to recognize the fact that was just stupid. That was a dumb yellow, and it was early in the game. It was like unnecessary, and it's going to happen by doing that. That was just like just a silly, poor. Like that's not a lead by example style captain play there.
Well, I'm not trying to be a smart arse, but if he wants to be our new captain or our next captain, he has to sign a fucking contract. So let's get that done and out of the way before any of this stuff keeps building up. Silly this and silly that, because people will turn on him. We've seen fans turn on people, and you see a few tweets from the wrong people saying Trent doesn't want this or doesn't like this or doesn't like that. People will start turning on him. So
they will.
Just get it done, man. Come out and get it done before Christmas.
Yeah.
But I'll go with a 60, because I thought he did have a very, very quiet game.
You're right.
Even by non-Trent standards, it was a quiet game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I might be affecting people's by bringing up the whole yellow card thing. It's definitely dropped the scores to 60 from I guess Marion, 62 from Bernie, 55 from Philip.
Now, can I just bring up quickly? That's been a hot topic, right? The kicking the ball away.
Yeah.
From a free kick and getting Arsenal have been talking about that a lot. And they are talking about consistency. So I just do want to point out that Dominic Szoboszlai was on a yellow card when we played Forest, and he did exactly the same thing. He just booted it away. He should have gone. He didn't get a yellow card.
No, that's fortunate.
So do you know what I mean? Like these guys, I
don't remember
from
that
week
play.
to week. Yeah, from week to week, they're not even making the same decision.
I'm not saying
that.
So you can remember that.
No, he was on a yellow, kicked the free kick away, didn't get it right. Like so you can see why. Like I don't agree with like these stupid little things or whatever, but you can see why. Okay, well, hang on. Last week it was a red for Trossard or whatever. This week it isn't a red for Szoboszlai. Next week it will be a red for Trent. The week after it won't be a red for fucking something. Like, come on, guys, seriously, just get your shit together. Stop giving people easy shit to complain about. If you're gonna book people, book everyone.
Right. No, I get you. Trent had that same. It's not the first yellow card for doing that. Trent got that yellow card against Spurs the year that
same thing.
Some people's hero Flash Gordon, pushed him out of bounds, pushed him in the back. How about for Macca? Brian, start. What your score is going to be for Macca?
Really quiet game again by his standards. I think.
By his standards, yeah.
Yeah, we were all down. We're all down on power everywhere. Like it was a game where a job was done. He went back to the kind of missing Mac, not the kind of middling Mac. that we had earlier on. So
Mm-hmm.
still capable. I still think he's going to start firing this season. His passing is probably some of the best in our team.
Had a nasty foul. He committed a bad foul, but also had a nasty foul committed.
Yeah, I love it. He loves it. He loves it. Don't worry, man. He fucking loves it.
Yeah.
That's what he's made for. Getting stuck in. Like Cara said it yesterday. He's like, he loves to get stuck in. You can just tell. He loves it. He loves to get it and give it as long as it's
angry
fair.
over. Yeah.
No, get hard tackle. He loves once you can give one back. Just when it's fair.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like to get angry or like
Yeah.
get the adrenaline pumping.
But yeah, look, 60, pretty box on a game. Yeah, just a 60. I think the whole team was about a 60, so he's on a 60.
Yeah, 60s, 70s. Yeah, Trap Joe gave him 85. Let's see, 67 from High Lore, 75 from KJ. What about you, JK?
Just a basic 70. He did his little he gets stuck in every game, you know.
Yeah.
But he didn't stand out yesterday for me. But for me, standard 70, you know. And one thing about Trent, what he did in that first half when he kicked the ball away and got the yellow card after like 6 minutes or whatever it was, that disappoints me, man. You know, never jeopardize your club's success by doing things like that. You know, imagine he got a city, because what happens then when you get a yellow card like that? Anytime a guy falls over near you, there's a possible yellow coming again.
Yeah.
So for me, that type of discipline, I think Brian was just saying about Szoboszlai as well. Them two are sort of flair players, Trent and Szoboszlai. And what happens? They get frustrated when the game don't go their way. And you'll see things like that, you know. But for me, Trent should have been a bit more disciplined by just doing that. It wasn't like for me, if he did it last minute.
It's the first 6 minutes of the game.
Yeah, man.
Like,
for me, if he did it at the end of the game just to disrupt,
that might be a little different story.
Yeah,
but I mean,
but doing it right at the start, forget that.
Yeah, that really kind of upset.
But you know what's even worse? It was that he was kicking it. Like sometimes you can kind of go, okay, he blocked it when they tried to take a quick one.
Right. Yeah.
Because he realized we were in trouble.
Right.
Like we weren't in trouble there. He just kicked it away.
Yeah.
For time. Like it was just sometimes you go, okay, look, you took that yellow because they had spotted a free kick, a quick one, and the pass was on and in, and they would have scored a goal, maybe. You know, and you take that yellow there and then.
Exactly.
But not with one of those ones where you just kick it over the line just to be petulant.
In the first 6 minutes. Yeah.
Because guess what, dude? You're getting fucking booked. And it's one of the stupidest things in the world to get booked for. Kicking a ball 2 yards away. Come on, man. Seriously.
I gave him
Wake up.
68 for Macca. Everyone is in love with Gravenberch. Grava is someone that is super in favor. I think I will admit that I think some are now super hyping his performances. Oh, 1 second. I don't know why that just happened.
Tell us who that is, Healer. Who's this player?
What's that?
Healer saying, I can say this already. There was really just one really good player on the pitch. And I have all the stats and could take those.
Oh,
stats.
he's been hyping up. No. I'm not calling Hyler out at all.
I'm just reading his comment. I'm just wondering who you're talking about. I don't want to.
He's definitely given praise, and there is praise that is due this young Red, young 21, right? Talented player, finally being given a real chance to shine. There's some people that have said that this is during the whole Jude love fest that was going on. There were those that were very few of us. There were some that thought that Gravenberch, or if not, could rival, if not potentially rival Jude at some point. Gravenberch has definitely really stepped it up. I was only saying that sometimes I think like we have been giving him, like, he's had good games, but maybe people are giving him a little high. I mean, like, Yeah, Phillips hit him on 90. I don't know if he had a 90. I don't think any player had a 90 game in this game. That's why I'm only saying I can understand people like praising him, but I don't know if he had a 90 game. You know what I mean? Like I'd say certainly in the 80s, somewhere in the 80s, if you want to be that be that bold. I don't think I even went with it. I don't think I went with an 80. I'll try to see what my score was here. I went with I think I was somewhere in the 70s. Let's say, yeah, the 73. But let me bring it up for you again here. But I can definitely do 80s. But what was your score, Irishman, for Bravo?
Yeah, no, I wasn't. Yeah, Healer, I wasn't like saying we haven't read. I was just saying like I didn't want to put words in your mouth by assuming you were talking about a certain player. I just wanted you to name.
Yeah,
it.
no, he's rightfully so too.
I know he's doing it now. I know he's doing it now, but
he's showing the stats. Yeah.
Oh yeah, don't worry. We've looked into it, but also, I mean, stats are stats, dude. You can also look at the game. You know, there doesn't need to be this disconnect between I look at stats, I watch the game, I test this, or stat. Like it's the whole thing is one big package. You know, you can also watch the game and say that's not the best game I've ever seen him play, not even this season. You know,
I also go back to this comment we said
earlier.
Okay,
he was good.
Yeah, I also go back to the comment I said earlier. Wolves were not a bad. Like they weren't a horrible team yesterday. Wolves came out and tried to do similar things that Forest did to us, but were trying to. I think they were trying to attack us more than we saw from Forest, and it just for our benefit didn't work out. You know, they obviously got a goal off a mistake, and but I thought that Wolves definitely did some things yesterday. I just don't know if it was a 90
but
performance.
you mentioned I give him 70. Like I'm giving him a 70.
I had him at a 73 originally, but I'm willing to.
But you asked a question there a minute ago, which is something Quasi brought up on the show when I was on the Murder On. He was saying, "Why is Ryan Gravenberch getting man of the match every single game?" Like
that's what I was trying. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, and I agreed with it. I was saying like, yeah, I think he's been great, but there's definitely been
others that have had better performances.
Oh, one Jota. There's been one Jota and one Cody.
Yeah,
that I would have thought would have been. I would have had man of the match, and maybe someone would have even had an Evo. Like,
but I would have had I still would have had Ryan at a exceptional. Like he would have had.
Oh, of course.
He would have had an exceptional match. This is Tyler's saying. Tackles 1, 3. I'll bring up his stats too as well.
But
he showed his highlights: 3 for 3 for duels, 8 for 8 for tackles 1, 3 for 3, duels 1, 8 for 8. That's exceptional. I didn't even see that. I had 7 for 7. Okay, that's why. But still 7 to 7, 8 for 8, whichever is still good. Passing 57 out of 62 for 92% passing. You know, and again, stats that you don't necessarily see, progressive runs, the way he's able to, you know, turn a bad situation into a good one by alleviating pressure with his dribbling ability.
But those are the ones you do see. Those are the ones that, like progressive runs and all that. Those are the ones you actually do see. If people just watch the games, but they won't know it's a progressive run or whatever. But they'll have seen that's the stuff that he does. You can see what he does in the team. But again, like I just thought I wouldn't be having anybody in the 80s or the 90s yesterday.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah,
like, even the good ones
the 90s is a little high. But I mean, everyone's
even the good ones.
Scores. You're on this panel. You're a judge. You can put any score you like. Like Marion is putting in hundreds and 95s.
Yeah, big them up.
Have at it. Have at it.
Definitely.
That's why you're one of our red jewels. You know, like as in it's.
Oh, but if you haven't
appreciate your.
If you haven't hit like, by the way, if you haven't hit like, you're not allowed to vote.
Yeah.
So
there maybe that could be one of the ways.
Yeah, if you haven't hit like, you can't vote in the ratings. So make sure you've done that.
Here's the man that is separating some of our opinions. We spoke on him earlier. We now have to rate him now. What are you guys going to do when it comes to rating Dominic Szoboszlai? And this is a player I will give out some statistics for, because he did not have the greatest of games, but
JK.
yeah,
For
Pops
me,
saying that moment he glitched in the box. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just read a comment by Pops. And
no, read it, bro. It's cool.
He says that moment he glitched in the box was crazy. If he had scored or assisted, it would have been off of the chain. But that miss kind of capped it off. Talking about Dom. Statistic wise, 73 minutes played, had a XG of 0.75. Obviously, that one that he missed was a big one. It was a good save too, by the way. Sometimes you got to give it to the keeper. I think that was a good save. Like he maybe that for a goalkeeper saved his one good save for Dom, because technically, truthfully, looking at it from a goalkeeper's perspective as well, he should have saved Ibu's header. I think he should have saved Ibu's header. Was definitely one that he got a hold of, but he didn't really like crush it to the point where it was an unstoppable header. I personally think. I think that he should have saved Ibu's, and he made an incredible save against Dom. But all the same, 1 for 1 for long balls, shot on target, the one we spoke on. 0 for 1 for dribble attempts, big chance, missed one. 2 out of 4 for his ground duels. Had one foul, 2. I think the foul was a dumb foul too, by the way. Was fouled twice, 1 clearance, and that's about all it came for his statistics. His heat map was surprisingly light too, by the way. Got subbed off again early. What are we doing with it? What are we doing here? JK, what are you doing? What's the what do you want to say, and also throw in your rating?
Like for me, I'll give him a 60. At the midfield 3, I would say he's not doing the best out of the 3. And hence why yesterday I just feel that he allowed their midfield or their centre backs just to run through our midfield a few times, and he was the nearest guy to him. I don't know what the guy's sort of problem is to get into a game. Like for me, Hungary, when he plays for them, he's the main guy. He's the main guy. He's going to run the show.
Answer, dude.
There you go.
Answer.
At Liverpool, he's with the other top dogs.
Yep.
He's with guys who want to take control of the game. So he has to pick and choose when he does it. You know what I mean? It isn't like when he plays for his country. So that's what the conflict is.
JK, I'm assuming because you're in Germany, I'm assuming he had a similar, very prominent role at Leipzig, right? I'm assuming he was very one of their most important.
Yeah, main guys. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, one of their main men, right?
Yeah, he was a top dog there. You know, you've got to build your teams around them type of players to get the best out of them. I believe sometimes certain games, you know, where you just say play your game. You know, no pressure. Like for me, that West Ham game, he could have done it in that game. In them type of games, you know, where he just runs the show because there's a player in him. Talent-wise, skill-wise, he's got it in him. You know, he doesn't even shoot. You know, this is another thing. When a guy don't shoot,
that's part of the psychological thing, though. Too.
There you go.
Like, you start looking for as in there was a time he laid it off to Mo actually in the game, and I was just like, let's take a crack at it. I know we want to feed Salah. I get that. I get we want to feed our forwards, but like at that very moment, I was like, you've got a rifle for like a leg, like just take a crack at it, you know, and see what happens. And like once it starts to like that not defect, but once that gets into that mental block, gets into your mindset, all of a sudden you're not you're looking for other people, you're making the extra pass. Like, no, just have at it. If it's there, take it. You miss it, go again. That's something I commend Nunez on sometimes, which is like he'll have some bad shots, and he'll just like it's almost as if almost as if like he has the goldfish, goldfish. You got to have a goldfish mentality as a good striker. You just forget about it. The Mamba mentality is what some people like to call it. Just keep shooting. But I saw a lot of 60s. I'm gonna go with or 64.
I didn't rate him yet.
Oh, my fault. My fault. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I think his confidence, for whatever reason, his mentality, his psychology is not working out right now. Whatever is
Mhm.
going on with him, whatever's going on behind the scenes in his personal life, if it's affecting
Mhm.
him, whatever it might be, he is not confident right now. And he should be, because he's
He should
probably as
be.
good on the ball as most of the players we have. He's better than
Yeah.
Harvey Elliott. He's better than Curtis Jones. He's better than he's better. I mean, he's just better than those players.
I
He's
wouldn't know.
one of the best players
Yeah, for what I
in
don't
the
know if I
game.
would go as far as saying he's. I don't. We haven't seen Maka in the 10. I know some people are
No, I
asking.
never. I didn't say he's better than Maka. It's better than
Yeah.
Endo. He's better than Jones. He's better than Elliott. You're talking about in the 10
Mhm.
for that.
Mhm.
Cost 60 million quid. Captain's hungry. He's a brilliant player. So whatever it is that's happening is purely between the ears. If you can't
Do you
sort
think?
that,
I have a question.
no,
Can
I'll
I ask?
finish. Just let me finish. But let me finish it. I'll rate
Yes.
the guy. I just think it's obvious watching him. He's not confident. He just doesn't look confident in what he's doing. So until that changes, yeah, there will be these talks now. So I'm a bit disappointed in how much he's dropped off, and how much he seems to be getting worse every game. To be honest,
Mhm.
even though I'm not going in as hard as some people are, but he has been poor. And I think yesterday was kind of, he hit a bit of a nadir, as it were. He's in a funk, so I'm going to have to give him a 40. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought he was really poor yesterday. He gave the ball away a couple of times. He didn't really. I just thought it was a really poor showing.
Yeah.
And you can see him walking off. People are saying you can see when he's walking off. He's like, "Fuck that." He knows
Oh
he
no!
didn't play.
When he missed it, he was mad.
He knows he didn't have a good game when he's going off. He's not angry at the coach. He's
Yeah.
angry at
Yeah.
himself. He's like,
Yeah.
"I know I didn't play well. I know I didn't."
Exactly right. Yeah.
But I will give you this, and this is something that I will offer to the chat and obviously the panel, and that is like Dom is someone that will go out there and keep fighting.
We know that, man. We
Yeah.
know that. No,
Well, I'm
that's
just
a
saying.
given. No, I know, but we take that as given. That's what I'm saying. He has to go out there and do it. But I'm just on yesterday's game. It
right.
was just a
Not
poor one.
everyone is
Poor.
that in that
No,
mindset.
I know. Like I said, I saw that. I'm not going to call that the stream I was watching, but from 5 minutes in, it was get Dom off. It was like, come on, please.
Yeah.
This isn't helpful, but again, I can understand. Like, he was giving people reasons then yesterday to be like, see, I told you he's shit. It's like, yeah, he is having a bad game. He is having a bad game.
And there's other I thought intangibles that he brings to. Again, people underestimate that engine that he's utilizing on the pitch is very important to us. So yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot
but he's going to have to step up and score goals.
He is going to have to step up though, and step his game up. And I know, I'm sure he's hating the fact
that he can do it. But it's not like we're sitting here going, "Oh, I don't know if this guy's any good or not."
Yeah.
Right. It's not like we're sitting there. Oh, is it? Oh, we know how fucking good he is.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's not like, oh, have we bought a pup? Have we bought a dud? No, we know we haven't. We know how good he is. It's just about getting him confident. And like we said earlier, one goal pass, then a goal, then 2 goals, and then away you go. Away you go. But just get that first good thing to happen. Get his confidence back.
I'm again, like, I get it. Yeah, Pops is getting on me because, like, I am the defense
all
the players. Yeah. I just think that he will step it up. I know he understands it.
But on the rating shop, as a rating shop, yeah, bad game yesterday. We moved.
Yeah, bad game.
Dom, we had a bad game, dude.
Well, let's talk about Lucho then. Someone that's been in the form of his life. Someone that, again, I know that Trap Joe said he saw that interview. He's very impressed by it. I was equally impressed by, it's obviously it's in his native language or native tongue. So, like, he's speaking very freely and is able to answer the questions as directly as possible. And he was being very candid with like how a lot of what his game has been able to see this year is because of certain aspects that this coach has brought out in the new system, and it's helping him, and that's great to see. Lucho got in 73 minutes yesterday, another player that was subbed off, I guess, relatively early. I know what was very interesting is this game didn't see that many substitutions. We only had 3 subs yesterday. We didn't have the full 5 happen in this game. And they happened in the 73rd minute, and obviously the injury substitution or precautionary injury substitution of Joe for Robbo in the 89th minute. So this is the only substitution that happened, but Lucho being one of them. What were you gonna do, Lucho? Brian, we can start off with you. While you're speaking, I'm gonna bring up some of the other scores that people are putting in.
Sure.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, like what people are saying there, Pops. Nothing to write home, but like I think the whole team for me landed on a 60, and he's right there on that as well. There was one that maybe just above it, a couple below it, but it was one of those days. He was okay. So, yes, 60.
Let's see. What 67. He linked nicely with Robbo on occasions, but struggled to get the better of Semedo, and was guilty of being loose on the ball. His least effective outing of the season, he thinks. It's safe to say. He didn't have that great of a game. I think I had him at like a 68. I think I want to say, or something like that. 66. I had him at.
Quiet game.
Yeah, I would go. I think I'll put
65. Yeah.
Or there were some 70. So I mean, Lucho got a 75. Yeah,
I'll go for a 60, 65. You know, he wasn't great because we're used to him scoring goals. As soon as a player who scores goals all the time don't score goals, people think he had a shit game.
All of a sudden, yeah. I like the intangibles.
He wasn't needed.
I like the intangibles, and
he wasn't needed yesterday, so that was a good thing. You know, like he had a rest against West Ham.
Yeah.
Yesterday wasn't really involved in the game as much, but it's cool. We won both games. You know, we scored 5 in one and 2 in the other. So it's okay if he doesn't do it, someone else steps up. That's the thing about having a good squad. We've got 5 attackers, including Chiesa 6. One of them guys will step up in each game. So it's cool.
Yeah. I'll bump him a little bit since Lucho's my guys. Viva Colombia. 68. Also, I'll put him in 68. So okay. How about for
Can I get a my guy bonus on top? I didn't realize that my guy bonus.
My guy bonus. Yeah. I'm not trying to get Sicarios. I don't want Sicarios like hunting me down. They know where my
No, I just said like earlier on. Someone said who's man of the match, or yesterday I was like, there's nobody from that Liverpool team that was like, wow, man of the match. You know, nobody was that good. It's like probably, like what would you do? Pick one, but that's how I like with the likes of Diaz. You know, it's real like 60s type of stuff. Even Mo, like I'll go with Mo. Like I thought he did well. All the stuff people saying, sell him, get rid of him, but he made the difference.
He should have scored. No, Mo should have scored that goal where he had the open net, where there was the mistake. I'm surprised we didn't press that goalkeeper more by trying to like have the ball at his feet or trying to like see if he's going to take command of the air. We probably should have pressured him more. He was very, very shaky at points and moments of that game. But the giveaway that he had to Salah, and he ended up, he just didn't do any, like he went wide with the shot. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Brian? Do you remember that?
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know the one you mean.
Yeah. Normally that goes right in. I'm trying to, I can't remember if that was, I think it might have been with his right foot. I think he might have kicked that, but there's no excuse. Right, left, wide open goal. You expect a player of Salah's stature to be able to connect on that. That could have put a different, slant on the game completely early. But
there was the breakaway later on.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one.
I thought it was. I thought it was. Maybe I was wrong. Man, I double check. I thought it was where I thought it was the keeper made the pass. Okay, bro. I'll look at it again. I thought it was the keeper made the pass to, I think, to the Wolves player, and he was coming back and he missed it, and that's how Salah picked it up with an open goal, looking at him, and he just didn't do what he needed to do with it. But I could be wrong. I'll see if I can double look.
I'll still give him a 60. I'll give him a 60.
60? Yeah, Hyler's giving him a 68. What was 73 from Trap Joe, 65 from the Football Poet.
That's a new name.
Yes. Big up, by the way, to the Football Poet. Thank you for subscribing.
Welcome, chat.
Thank you. I just saw the alert say that you just subscribed to the channel. I appreciate you.
Oh, definitely.
Nice one. Yeah, so the keeper passed to Lamina, who then tried to go across goal, and Mo stepped in. Yeah, that's how I saw it. So yeah, okay. Stepped in, should have taken a touch, but went first time. Exactly. That's the play I'm speaking of, Pops. Yeah. And it was like one of those, like, bad decisions that could have been, if we capitalize on it, maybe we're having a different discussion on Mo.
Yeah.
Jimmy gave him a 62, 65 from Bernie. JK, what was your score for Mo? Yeah.
Like for me, he's going to get an extra 10 points.
Yeah.
Because of he got the winner. They
get the winner. Yeah, technically, yep.
So there you go. So like for me, I don't understand why people are moaning about Salah. Did you see in the runs he was doing yesterday? He was beating their guy most of the time.
Yeah.
Slotted the penalty away, got us 3 points. Ciao, onto the next game. For me, Mo Salah is a guy you cannot moan about. That guy. He's built enough things in the bank to allow him to have one or two bad games now and again. Like the guy is not a machine, but he trains like one, and he actually looks like a machine, but he's not a machine. So he's gonna have days. He's got a lot of responsibility. He's got a family. He's got like Egypt games, in between. The international break don't really do him any favors when he comes back. But for me, there's no reason he's going to be our top scorer this season, Salah.
Probably.
Again.
Yeah, at this rate, he's going to get 25.
Yeah,
he's already on 4.
Yeah,
he's on 4 now. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got 5 games in. Come on,
come on, man.
Yeah. No, you're
right.
He
gets assists as well. In between, he'll get a few assists as well.
Had 45 touches, 2 key passes, 0 for 2 for his crosses, but and I think one of them was a back cross. But 1 for 1 for long balls, shot on target 2, 1 off target, 2 out of 3 for his dribble attempts, 5 out of 10 for ground duels. Fouled once, was fouled once, was fouled, or made a foul and was fouled once. Excuse me. Clearances, had 1 clearance, 2 tackles. Putting in work, putting in some defensive work. Too. He's not doing what sometimes which were his instructions, albeit, which was like not to focus on the defense and kind of like cherry pick a little bit. But yeah.
You know what? Normally, remember when Mane used to play for us and Salah used to do them balls from his side straight to him to score a goal. Outside the foot, curl it in, it was. I can't really remember the game. And what happened yesterday? He was in that position where he could have done it for Curtis Jones. And what happened? He realised it was Curtis Jones, not Mane, and he fucked up the pass.
Yeah.
And that's the only excuse I'm giving for that one. For me, he could have got cemented the game with that pass there. If that pass was perfect, I think Curtis might have scored. So
yeah. Papa's saying he'll credit him for his defense work, but that doesn't save his overall performance for him. I got you.
Hey, man. Hey, look. I can sit here and go, is he playing amazing? No, of course he's not. No. I can see what everyone is saying, right? Yeah. He isn't amazing. He isn't but But what the fuck is this guy doing? He's chipping in, week out, goal,
Week out.
assist, goal,
Yeah,
assist,
yeah,
goal, assist.
yeah.
Like, I'll take that right now. Like, I said
Yeah.
to somebody earlier, now, Pops, I'm not having, Jesus Christ, Pops, last person in the world I'm ever going to have a go at. But I said to somebody earlier on, there are problems if you go and look for problems. If you want to find problems or issues or things at Liverpool Football Club right now, Mo Salah is not one of them. Is he as good as he used to be? No. Is he beating his defender all the time? No. Is he the world's best right winger like he was? No. But is he chipping in, week out with invaluable goals and assists? Yes, he is. So even him at his worst,
Pops is like, bring
even
it.
yeah,
Bro,
but even
but,
this bad Mo, even this horrible Mo that everybody can't wait to get rid of, is chipping in right now with the numbers that are putting us top of the league. Now, I don't want to flip around that thing I said about someone else making it, but if certain players at our club had the XA or whatever it's called, the GA
Yeah.
that Mo Salah has right now, people will be losing their minds about how good they are. But now, Mo, oh yeah, we get 4 goals, 4 assists, whatever, but he's shit. Man, be careful what you wish for, because when he's gone, you'll be
We're done.
crying out for someone that can chip in with these kind of numbers. Is he what he used to be? No. But right now, okay, who do you start in front of him? Right? When Chiesa was not here, it's Ben Doak. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Like, he's here right now. You play him, goal assist. He's not.
No, he's averaging. Mo Salah's averaging 3 his xG so far this season is 3.89, and so he's right on. He's got 4 goals, so he's right where his xG is. He's got 4 assists. He's actually overachieving on his assists because he's got which is good. That means that whoever he's passing into are connecting or actually making the most out of his passes. He's got 4 assists, but his XA is at 1.43. So
them type of figures gives him that credit in the bank, Baz and Pops, bro. Because if that was Curtis Jones, different story, because he hasn't built no credit in the bank with his fans, you know. But for me, Salah at his age could have left Liverpool a while back if he really, really wanted to. You know, he decided he wanted to stay, and for me, I'm just thankful he did that. You know, he didn't have a great game yesterday, but he won us the game yesterday.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give him an
80. 80? Okay.
Yeah, just for that goal, getting the winner.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, like, heck, it was good to see him step up, take the penalty confidently. You know, we obviously all know that there was some shakiness about at one point that people were a little unsettled with him taking the spot kicks. But yeah, stepped up, did it, got us the win as usual. You know, big Mo, King Mo. I'll stick with a 70. I saw a lot of like different little scores. 68 I saw from Heiler, like I said. 65, 70. They were mostly more like.
I'll just quickly tell Bargin Pops, bro. If Salah didn't score that penalty yesterday, or we ended the game 1-1, I would have given Salah 60 for yesterday, if that.
Yeah.
You know. I think that Curtis pass where he should have passed it, that was another like point where we could have took points off him. But he just got us the 3 points. The main thing, what everything football's about, getting 3 points. And because he did that, for me, his credit goes up. It's not because he's got reserve in the bank, I'm going to give him a high score. No. I'm going to just give him a score based on he got the 3 points. If he didn't get them 3 points yesterday, I would have given him a 60, 55, 60 actually. So,
yeah,
we just leave it as that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yotto just comes on the screen and starts smiling and says, "That's it. That's true, bro."
Yeah. He's like, all right, let's speak on me. Some were calling it. I know I saw he did. I was just about to say that, Pops. He's talking about Diego gets more credit for the pen. He won it. He did. He's definitely sold it. That's the state of football today. You have to kind of sell it. You got to sell it somewhat to get sometimes the calls, because there's even sometimes when you do sell it, you still don't get those calls. the way that you might think he would. But it was a foul. Let's not get it twisted. They did go to VAR. They confirmed it. I know some. I saw again. I do watch I do my ops by watching other channels. I know I saw like some were saying that it was a soft penalty. I don't care if it was soft or whatever. It was a penalty. Yeah, it was a penalty. It was a rightful penalty, and I'm glad to see that they had the the nerve to call it, because like I've seen some penalties that should have been called.
Didn't even need to go to VAR. Didn't even need to go to VAR. You see it on the first replay. It's like as soon as that goes to VAR, it took about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
That's one thing they're doing now is
trying to make it
much quicker. Trying to be much quicker with the VAR things. It's just like boom, that's a pen. So cool. We know it's a pen. So give it. It looked like it almost didn't go to VAR. It was that quick.
Yeah, because he didn't. He knew. Yeah,
that's what you want to see. Like I don't like VAR, but on something like that where the game is already stopped or something, but there should be no reason for 2 minute fucking forensic examinations of it. Mm-hmm. Like I've always said, if you can't tell after about three or four views, which should only take about 15 seconds, then you don't know. Just don't give it. It should. If it's obvious, it's obvious. And I thought that one was obvious, but I'll go look. I thought they were all poor. I still only give him a 70, even when he got the 2 assists. But just pretty much, like I said, I thought it was going to be Robbo that played that ball the first time I saw it. Mm-hmm. From the left, he's done so. He's been so incredibly inventive last couple.
You call it, I guess, 2 assists because of he got the assist.
Yeah, he gets the assist from the Apeno. Yeah. He wins it. I think Jota has been incredibly effective in the last couple of games in so many different ways. The way he jumped the first time pass, and the way he jumped to get the goal against Bournemouth, or against Bournemouth, right?
Brentford, right? That's the game you're talking about.
The last game, yeah. With we played that first time ball and he got on the end and he scored. He jumped up and he headed in. The other night.
Okay,
He's able to cross the ball. He's just so constantly involved.
Did he play against Bournemouth? When was he played
this season?
He didn't play. He didn't
play
against
Bournemouth.
He didn't play against Bournemouth.
Not the other. The one where
he
played
that well in Ipswich, Brentford.
No. The last game he played the first time ball and he jumped up. The last goal he scored.
Okay. I got it.
But I just think he's able to do kind of everything. He's shown he's able to do everything. He's been really, really good.
I think that you're thinking of. I think you might be thinking of because he played Bournemouth in the. Where did he play Bournemouth? Double check.
No, the West Ham game. The West Ham game. Sorry.
He was on the bench for Bournemouth.
The West Ham game. The West Ham game. The West Ham. Yeah, the West Ham. But no, I just think he's got so many strengths to his foot. He can cross the ball. He can head the ball. He can score. He can do all that. So it was a great little performance from him.
By the way, hi Lord. Apparently the flu is going around, so I think he really was sick. I don't think they hold him out. I don't think they hold him out that game, just because there's like some inner conspiracy or something going down.
No, he was sick, definitely sick. He'd be on, even if he'd be on the bench, So no, I thought none of us did brilliantly. So even though Jota got the 2 assists, I think probably my man of the match. So, but still only a 70.
That was that pass to Konate was a great, really, really talented, great pass. Great pass. Put it in the position for whoever's bigger, the biggest and the baddest to go up and get that. Just go.
Just go and head that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Go and head that. Yeah. He didn't try and pick anybody out.
Right.
He just put in a perfect ball and just said, "Whoever's there, go and head that." Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. It's up to you. I can't do any more. I'm going to put the best ball into the box you're going to see. Go and head it.
Real quick again, what are your scores again? Irishman for Diego?
70.
JK for yours? Because we're trying.
I'm going to give him for me, I reckon he was man of the match. He put a shift in yesterday. I'm going to give him an 80.
Oh, wow. Okay. I know I didn't give him that high of a score, but I think I gave him a something 70 something, maybe
Like he won us the game as well with his cross for the first goal, winning the penalty for the second goal. So for me, he has to get a good rating for them two things, you know.
Yeah. I agree with that. Let's do 76. How about that? 44 points. Because I saw a bunch of 72s from Jimmy, 70 from Aaron, 70 from KJ, 70 from Bonkers, 68 from Trap Joe. They're very grounded with their scores. So I'll keep them. I know you guys had them that higher, so meet somewhere in the middle. How about for subs? Now we're only going to rate 2 subs. Gomez is not getting a sub on 1 minute of play, even though Gomez did come in and hold it down. What are we going to do with this will turn? Give me 1 second. Let's not go into the next one. What are we going to do with? What? Give me 1 second here. For some reason, Google is not cooperating today. Let's just get into. So it's Curtis Jones is going to be the first, I believe I have on there. Or no, I have Cody. I think I have Cody next. Let's go with Cody first. They both came in at the 73rd minute. They both came in as a dual sub. What was your rating on Cody?
Me?
Let's go with JK first.
Standard 65. Did okay when he came on, actually. 65, yeah.
Standard 65. All right. And for you, Brian, what was your rating for Cody?
58.
Oh wow. Okay. I wasn't expecting
That's Cody.
that.
He just heard what we just gave him as a rating. He just pops up on the screen like, what did you say?
Yeah, like what?
What?
This Agent Cody.
58. 58.
I have a particular set of skills. And I will use them. If you know, something.
15 minutes.
Cody got a 63 from Trap Joe, 65 from Delonte, 63 from Jimmy, a 65 from Bonkers. Okay. I did not have him that low. I had him at like 68. I had it like high low. I had him at a solid 68. He says Curtis Jones solid in possession, closed down well, provided more energy, and had a good shot. Important to keep us up the energy, especially when Spotlight looked like a burnout. 68 from Trap Joe, 65 from Marion. What was again? Repeat your scores again, if you can, for me. Irishman
65.
And 65 for you, JK.
58.
58. Let's bump it to like a 65 then. 64, something like that. 65, 64, something.
64.
64.
You got a 63, 65, 68. Yeah. 64 for codes.
That's good.
Not enough time.
How about for Curtis? Yeah. How about for Curtis?
Yeah,
Curtis is someone. Look, we've spoken on sliding doors circumstances. You know, it's been somewhat of a struggle at times for Curtis to stay healthy for various reasons. Always not. Sometimes I guess you could say football like normal football injuries. You know, whether it's the eye and things that like kept them from the pitch at times. But Curtis Jones has a sliding door right here for himself, in that there are those that are saying maybe try Curtis in that 10 role, maybe see if he can get a nice little run, maybe see if he can pick up form and do something different, or offer something different, if not better than than we're seeing from Dom currently. I'm a big Curtis Jones fan. I don't have that answer at the very moment.
Like for
What
me, that's a perfect.
Yeah.
It's a perfect sort of situation where you could play Curtis instead of Sabotsalai for one game.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when you not sort of give a guy the substitute bench, he sort of wakes him up a little bit. And I think Dominic maybe needs that for himself, just not to start the next game. Give Curtis a go. Like Curtis, for me, he played well when he came on against West Ham. No, did he start the West Ham game? I can't even remember now.
I can tell you in a second.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he played pretty well in that game.
Yeah.
He got an assist as well. So for me, it could be a situation where we could play Gravenberch.
Oh, you mean in the cup? Yeah, he played. Yeah, he definitely played in the cup match. Yeah.
Yeah, he played in the cup game. He got an assist for Jota. So
yeah, that was like the day we had a completely different squad.
Yeah. Like start Curtis against Bologna. See how he does. If it don't work out, bring on Sabotzola.
Yeah, give him a rest.
I know people want to start. I know that people are still want to start Elliott over Sabotzola. Some have offered maybe Curtis Jones. Like again, Curtis Jones being maybe a solution for some of the little bit of bad run that Dom's going through. But
I do it the other way around though. People are saying like put Jones in the 10. I wouldn't put Jones in the 10. You got a number 10 sitting right there. You put Mac in the 10.
Yep.
And you put Jones in the McAllister role.
There you go.
It doesn't have to be a straight swap. You can just and that's what happened yesterday when we were doing the thing, and I was talking to Revenite, and Revenite was saying, "Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? How can we?" Because they were all calling for Dom to be ripped off after 20 minutes on Beige and Reds show. Like I know Dakota hates him. No, she does.
Hate's a strong word.
No, she does. No, she well not hate him, but she'll tell you, yeah, she really doesn't like the guy. She
yeah.
He really
he's not happy. She's not.
Yeah,
happy.
she wants him off all the time.
Yeah,
and yeah, but Revenite is there. There's a couple other get him off. So okay, cool. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? I said, okay. So bring this guy on, bring that guy on. Put Gakpo in at 10, do that. I was like, so well, what you do? Well, what I would do is if you're going to do that, you take off Dom, but you put Mac in the 10, and you put Curtis into the macro. That's what I would do. There's no need to do. But even then, I mean, it's not like there's this guy on our bench that's
world class.
That's begging to like. Elliot, he's good, right? But is he that good to make himself a starter?
I mean, like,
I don't know. Like,
I was
number 10 thing is up for grabs as far. But I have no problem seeing Mac play that role, and the solution is to find someone to play in Mac's position in the midfield. If people don't want Dom, whatever, okay, but don't try and put a Jones in there or an Elliot in there. Put fucking McAllister in there. He was brilliant for Brighton in the number 10 role. He was brilliant.
Yeah.
So let's bring in even an Endo
for Mac in the 10 for a while. Yeah, there certainly is.
Even an Endo with Graf.
I was going to suggest like that. You could have Endo as like that anchor enforcer that allows for Gravenberch to do a lot of those runs and even.
I don't see Elliot. All I'm saying, I don't see Elliot not. It's a lot of if Elliot was fit, he'd be this. If he, that's the easiest in the world to say. If he was in the team, he's not in the team. You're just hypotheticals. Okay, if he was fit, he'd be doing this. We don't know. All these people are saying, "I'll get rid of Dom, bring in Elliot." Well, okay, look, chill. Like,
no, what's interesting is this, and again, this is why I find sometimes the discussions that we get in sometimes are interesting. All I've heard from everyone and anyone is depth. We need more depth. We need depth. Here we are talking about a situation where you could play, and KJ brings up a great point. And there's another variation I was going to say too on this, where you can have Gravenberch and Jones. You can have maybe Maka and Endo, or you could have Harvey and Szoboszlai. I don't know if I put Harvey and Szoboszlai in that pivot, but
No, Jesus. No.
But I can say this. This is where I was going to say is that if you do have Maka that plays that 10 role, what you could possibly see is, well, why not? What is the harm in having two dynamic players in Gravenberch and Dom in as a pivot together? I think that could be a dynamic group. And then you have Maka in that 10. I think that
all you're doing is switching Dom and Mac.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, certainly. That's what But you're also, what you are doing is you're creating, you're bringing pace to that pivot role. Another pace player, a player with pace, I should say, and an engine in that role. I'm not saying that Maka doesn't have an engine, but I am saying that even the running joke. If you guys did watch the FC reveal, when they go around, they show the scores at FIFA or now EAFC. Everyone was the brunt of the joke was whether you beat Maka's pace or not. So, like bringing Dom maybe in as that pivot might open up himself into some things too, if that's the case.
But all I would say on that is, we've played with that midfield all season. We played with that. We played with Dom and Mac all season this year, basically. That's our main. And he's played Dom in the 10 and Mac in the 8. So just say 6-8-10. Grav 6, Mac 8, Dom 10. So he obviously, to me, he doesn't see. Like, I want to see Dom further forward. I don't want to see him dropping back.
Right. I'm just saying
there has to be a break in. No, I know what you're saying. I know 100%.
I know. What I also
the switch is there. You could do both.
More so not to you. I wasn't
no, you could try both. You could drop Dom in and see what Mac like. Someone saying Mac Mac. We've said this already twice. McAllister was brilliant for Brighton in the number 10. He played 6, 8, and 10 for Brighton, depending on who was in and who was out and who was injured. But they put him in the number 10. He was brilliant.
Right.
Now, maybe he's
just because you go into that pivot role doesn't mean that now all of a sudden you don't.
He can do it all, man. Like I said, he's our Gundogan.
He's our Gundogan. Going to attack. I mean, like we've seen that happen. So I mean,
no, but he's our Gundogan.
I'm saying that those options.
But to me, I know you said, but to me, I wouldn't make that switch. I wouldn't make Dom the second pivot. I keep him in the number 10, or like you spoke about, maybe playing wide before. I keep him higher up the pitch. Is where I put Dom to get the best out of him. You know, his skill set to get the best out of that, and then get Mac and Grav. But look, I think Dom needs. I think there's something going on with Sabazai. Basically, is what I'm saying. I don't think he's his right self, and a lot of talk about relationships and stuff like that. Problems he's having off the pitch. I don't know if he's entirely. So
I don't know about that. He had him last season, but
and apparently again it's reared its ugly head. So,
but I don't think that's this season.
No, I'm not saying that's. But apparently he hasn't settled brilliantly by all accounts.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's what's going on in his head. If we can get him settled and get him part of the team, I don't think, and him at his best loses his place to an Elliott or a Jones, basically, is what I'm saying. If we can get him at his best, we won't be talking about, we can sell this guy, get rid of that guy. He's still got a lot to give.
And no, I'm not forgetting Elliott, by the way, at all, Nolante. Says, you guys forgetting Elliott's form last season?
No, he's brilliant.
He's on form, and he on form is better than Spotlight in the 10. He's a natural 10. You're talking about Mac, but that won't happen until we get the new DM. I can understand your perspective. I can understand your perspective. It's just options. Look, I don't mind having options. I believe that's why I was trying to bring up my simple point was we do have various scenarios or various like combinations that you can use with this to create different approaches to, I want to say approaches to the same problem, but approaches to whatever problem is in front of us or whatever problem we create which is sometimes against some of these teams, having the ability to bring in an Elliott or have an Elliott at the 10 or have a Jones at the 10 or have him in the 6, like as in a lot of these interchangeable players or versatile players is a benefit. That's all I'm trying to get across. But we went on for a little bit. I've had him at a 69 for yesterday, Curtis. What were your scores for him? I'm going to go make sure I have a score for Curtis. 68, 65, 63 from Jimmy, 65 from Bonkers, 68 from Hylor, 68 from Trap Joe. Actually, that was for Cody's. My fault, Marion. 67 from Nolante, 55 from KJ. What was your scores again, real quick? It says
60. I'm going to give him
60, and you're going to do what was the Irishman?
50.
50. Okay, let's go. I'll bump it down a little bit. 60. Because a lot of 60s, mid 70s, in between 65 70s, a lot of 65 70s, but I'll bump it down one for some of the lower scores. Okay, Jones, I saw your score, Marion, 60 for. Well, that brings us to. I know I do have Joe, but I'm not going to rate Joe. I'll bring him down. That brings us to Arnie. What are you going to give Arnie? People in the chat. What are we giving Arnie? What are we giving the slot machine or Mr. Lock, as Pops likes to call him?
Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah. No, I don't get that one. Is that how they say it? It can't be how they say it.
Slot means lock in Dutch.
No, I understand. Okay. I don't know. What are people saying?
65. He took too long to make the changes. KJ saying. Go ahead. I'm waiting for more opinions. That's the only opinion that's come in so far.
I'll go with a 60. Go to 60. Kind of. It could that would have been worse in other years. I don't know. He still always seems to have a relative degree of control, even when it might be kind of a bit negative, or what's the word? Impotent control, maybe. I don't know. Shooting blanks, almost like we still do control. We don't look open. We don't look in trouble a lot. We didn't never really look like losing that game, but it was never guaranteed that we were going to win it either. But so it's very team grade, which is a 60. So I'd have to give him a 60 as well. No more than that, though.
JK, what was your when you pull the lever on the slot machine, what number are we're doing? I gotta come up with a graphic for that, by the way. That's what we should do. We should say, what is the slot? We'll have like a slot machine, and we'll
Yeah, we've got one. I think we've got one.
Yeah. But we'll have it where we get like, it'll bring up the score. Yeah,
that'd be cool. For me, he got the win, so 3 points. So I'll give him a 65.
65. Okay.
Yeah.
Bernie gave him 75. Jimmy gave him a 70. Said subs needed to be earlier. Delonte gave him a 70. Got the win. He could have made more subs. That was surprising too. I agree with that. 65 took a long time to make the changes. Says KJ. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think sometimes substitutes can ruin the game. In like yesterday, the subs were made, and if we didn't win the game, you could say, they should have been made earlier, this, that, and the other. But he did them at that time where he thought, now's the time. And eventually we won the game 2-1. So in a weird way, it sort of worked out pretty well.
Worked out in his favor, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Hyler is saying a good point too. Says top of the league, slot 70. He gave him a 78. Says why Liverpool keeps starting matches so slowly is up for debate. I agree with that too. As of late, they have been, at least. Especially, it happened a lot under Jurgen Klopp too, but Slot has to put a stop to it. was on that and make sure that was on that. Yes. So I had Arnie at I think I had him like a 75 because of the look in the end. We got the win. But I could bump it down to like, let's say 72. Does that sound fair?
That's cool.
Does that sound fair to you, Brian? 72?
Yeah, that's fine.
D plus from the force, the dark side has arrived, people. The dark side has arrived. Big up, Chris Angel. Marion gave him a 70. I got you.
Yeah, big up, Chris. Yeah, Chris gave him the same as me, 65.
What are we at? We are at player of the match. This is going to be difficult because this is a game that didn't necessarily have a incredible standout performance by anyone in particular, from start to finish. But we have to pick someone in a win, especially. You got to find someone that can, have the crown. I know who I'm going to vote for.
There's only two for me. I think there's only two.
Yeah,
Jota,
I think it's probably Gravenberch or Ibu.
Okay.
I know Grava was for. I know Heiler was saying Gravenberch. Who are you saying? Gravenberch?
Oh, sorry, I was going to say Jota and Ibu, but you were going to say Graven.
Okay,
fair enough.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have given Diego got.
No, I was saying between the two.
Definitely got the 2 assists, as you put it. You're right about that.
But as the two that might be up for it. I mean, I just thought there would have been two that was up for it. I thought Jota had to be in the equation.
Yeah, for me, Jota. For me, his energy throughout the game, bro. He was running non-stop. That guy.
Only one. There could be only one. Great movie, by the way, Highlander. Definitely a favorite of mine. Yes, there could be only one. Okay, so if we're gonna do that way, then and Trap Joe's got even a different player as well to offer to it.
Oh no, sorry, I didn't mean either. When I said there could be two, I meant sorry.
We have.
No, I didn't mean as in there should be. I just meant like you could pick. Sorry, there could have been two guys. Obviously, we'll pick one, or I'll pick one. I'm just saying like either of them could have been. It's not like I'm saying there has to be a dual thing. Like for me, it's like pick your poison. I'd go with Jota. For me, it's Jota.
Same as.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So 2 votes for Diego. Let's see. I'm gonna. Your scores do matter. So put them in. Trap Joe says Maka was his vote. So Maka gets a lone vote there. Gravenberch was Nolante, so that's 2-1. Again, put your votes in for the man of the match. Again, I thought that if we're gonna go 3 candidates, which you possibly could.
No, you got 11 candidates.
I would have put
11. You can pick any.
If you put Diego in there, that's cool. I would have put Ibu as my man of the match.
No, but there isn't 3. There isn't 3 candidates. It's like there's 11 candidates. I'm
just saying 3 leaders, three maybe.
Oh yeah, but no,
stand out.
You can pick anyone you want.
You can pick whoever you like.
Yeah. You've got 1 for Ibu. You've got 2 for Ibu.
Yep, 2 for Ibu, counting my vote, certainly.
Yeah.
So that's 2-2, and then there's 1 for, like I said, 1 for Grav, 1 for Maka. Anybody else? Get your votes in now. Get your votes in now, because that's what we're going to do is tally these up.
I'll tell you at the moment.
Give it out.
Tell you at the moment.
The polls will be closing soon.
The polls will be closing soon. Yes.
Yeah, but we don't want to tell you.
I got to change up the graphics, so in case it doesn't go with who I think should be the man of the match. So.
Yeah, we don't want to tell you though. We've got a tie at the moment.
We got a tie at the moment. Yes. So the tie is.
That makes it worse, KJ. That just makes it a 3-way tie now.
Yeah, 3-2.
So that makes it a 3-way tie now. Now you got 2 for Jota. 2 for. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's. Oh, yeah. No, that's.
He said
3 for you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So unless we get 1 more for.
Someone else put Jota in the chat.
Yeah, come on, people. We all saw how Ibu responded. He said he gave his pitch to you guys. He says, "What else do I have to do? I'm scoring headers now. I'm making last minute like diving, sliding tackles.
Yeah, you get 3 Gravenberches now if you're not careful.
Where was the other one?
Yeah, there's one for Grav. There's 2 for Grav.
Okay. Oh yeah. I thought
There's 3 for Grav.
I already knew Hyler
there
was
you go.
going to. Hyler gave his man the match early in the show.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the scores now? I see Nolante, Hyler, both for Grava. Was there someone else that gave it for Gravenberch? I don't think so. Just those 2 for Gravenberch. I know you guys want both Diego. There was at least 3.
Nobody else. They're all being slow.
I'm gonna call it while we have it then, and that way I don't have to change up.
It was 3-2. It's been 3-2. It's like 3-2-2 if you get what I'm saying. 3 for Evo and then 2 for someone else. So it's 2 for Grav, 2 for Jota, and at the moment 3 for Evo. So yeah.
Yeah, but when you look, Healer's got some good stats there about Gravenberch's game,
Yeah.
For me, Canate out the 3, Canate out the 3 would be 3rd place, Gravenberch 2nd place, and Jota 1st place. But for me, Gravenberch's stats, when you just look at them, I think the best stats since time.
Oh yeah, good game. Yeah, he was very good.
He had a good game.
I'm gonna give it to Ibu by the numbers. It was 3-2-2. Some good performances, or not good. Yeah, decent performances, not great performances, but good enough to get us the win, which is all important on the road, especially. Matters, definitely does matter. So there we have it. Ibu is our man of the match. Ibu.
That tackle at the end.
Man of the match.
Remember that tackle at the end he did?
Yeah.
That little block he did at the end. So
that's what I was bringing up. Yeah, that's what he meant. He mentioned that too, because he had to give. I know that Gravenberch did get the quote unquote official man of the match, and he had to give the award. So.
Yeah, but he won the man of the match award. But this people were talking about. Yeah, I know he said quote unquote official, unofficial. Yeah, he won the man of the match award. But people were talking about earlier on. This is a benefit of back in the day. You get the player that won the man of the match, and they'd be interviewed by some random guy, and it'd be really boring. Now they started introducing the thing where there are 2 players in. That's why you're getting much more funnier interviews because you've actually got 2 players, and they're kind of vibing out. Yeah. Before it'd just be one guy and he'd be, whoever introduced this idea of getting the 2 guys in together, that's what's getting it more interesting. Like you're losing a little bit that stock answer to, it was great for me. It's nice to win man of the match, but if it wasn't for the players around me, if it wasn't for the team, this isn't about me, blah, blah, blah. Once you mix it up like that, I like to see that you're bringing a bit more of the personality into it. Because you get a guy like Ibu. Some guys will be really boring. They just say yes, no. But a guy like Ibu obviously likes to have a bit of fun, likes to have a bit of crack. That's great to see in interviews. It doesn't need to be so serious. The game is over. You have a bit of fun with it. They're all humans.
There you go.
There you go.
It was actually it was nice to see 2 of our players who are on top of their game at the moment come on camera and have a good smiling face on their face, not miserable. Brilliant. You get me? So it was good.
Act like humans, normal people.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I'm gonna give you. How about this? We're gonna have a couple of laughs here. I'm gonna share some things with you all. You can tell me what
quick thing, bro. Bernadette, she voted for Gravenberch. So
I did see that. I did. The polls had closed, by the way, but I always Bernie was. I did say the polls are closed. She says, "Sorry, I'm late." I get that. But we'll say Gravenberch definitely is honorable mention. How about that? Because of Bernie's mail-in vote, all votes count, especially Bernie's. So, but I was gonna say let's do a little I have a couple moments of Zen for you guys. Some we're in the last like 10 minutes of the show here. Some things I was going to ask you, please, for this caption, please do a PG-13 caption. Okay. No rated R captions. This is, I know we're pretty much after dark in the UK, I guess, right now, but like PG captions. I was going to ask you if you do have a caption for this next photo. I'm going to share it with you guys. My caption is, please save me. That's what my caption is what he's saying right here. But this is kind of funny. My friends on Twitter, seeing, well, I'm not gonna say her name, but she's great lad, or great girl. She's she loves herself some Virgil van Dijk, and I was like, he's doing something that she would love to do. It's like, we all want to just like, breathe in the Virgil, breathe in the air that Virgil breathes in there, Oh, you smell so good. Exactly. Trap show. You smell so good. Yeah. Tanate is saying, let's see. Monty said, I wish I was at Anvil with you, big man. Yeah.
Bless Monty. They told me Liverpool. They told me Liverpool, but they brought me to Wolverhampton.
Yeah. It is funny. Because he was looking at him like, you sure you won't take me? You sure you won't take me home? You sure? I don't want to be here. Oh wow.
What did you think of Andre yesterday, guys?
Okay.
There's a player in him. You can see
impressed. Yeah, he's gonna have to find his way in the Prem. He's got his big move. He wants to do what he needs to. He's gonna get the opportunities to help the Wolves team. But he was okay. I thought it was like Milante. He was okay. It was just funny. It was just a funny look though. He was like,
yeah, that's a classic. That is.
Yeah.
To be on a mug, like a coffee cup or tea cup or something. Just put that on
there. Yeah.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah, Burge.
Andre.
Can I snip you after she? What did you say? You saying we all make mistakes?
Yeah, we all make mistakes, Andre. It's okay. Don't worry. It's okay. But I mean,
I think he was saying
my armpit, baby.
Yeah. I think he was like, I think he went up to Virgil and say, "Did they bottle this? Did they bottle this? Is this like something we can get the scent? Is this what they call it? Is this what they mean by aura? Is that what that's something? I don't know."
But for me, I think Andre could have done a job for us. Like technically, he looks good.
Yeah.
Like he did a bits and bobs in the game yesterday. But I think in a good team, he'll be a good player.
Yeah. Strange
signing.
Whatever it was. Yeah. He was going.
It was.
He was going to Liverpool. Then he was going to Fulham.
Yeah, Fulham.
He ends up at Wolves.
Yep. Mad.
Okay.
Yep.
Whatever. And
but how many people put that? Went to the bookies and put a bet on Andre's going to come to Liverpool. Then he's going to go Fulham, and he ends up at Wolves. So that's why I think sometimes they put too much speculation out there.
Sliding doors, the sliding doors. Like as sometimes, like just like you said, he was the hot to trot commander. Arsenal was reportedly looking at him also at times. There's various teams that were very interested in getting him. I think there was like a surge in the Copa Libertadores competition when he played in it because of how many Liverpool fans. That was like one of the first times they got an opportunity to see him even play. There's not many people on that side of the pond are watching, watching the leagues in South America. We over in this side of the pond do get to see a little bit more of it, but yeah.
How old is Andre? Do you know? By the way,
goodness. I hope he's not doing that. By the way, hi, Laura.
What, wiping his nose?
Yeah.
He's like,
he comes out crying. He's got like snot running, and he's just like, and then like Virgil's just probably like, Virgil's like, hey, someone gonna someone gonna get your man? No. He's like, I didn't mean to do that. Andre is real quick. Andre is I think he's like mid-20s, I want to say.
Yeah.
23.
Yeah, I think he's about 23.
23.
That's
Yep.
You know what? For me, worth the risk. That 37 million, I believe. Yeah, I think it would have fitted in nicely with our team.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, please adopt me, a great one.
If I'm saying, I've got a sister, you want to marry her?
Yeah, exactly. I know someone for you. I got someone for you.
I got someone for you, bro.
Oh man, a little yeah, and once again, I know just to have a little fun with our rivals here, and I know that this wasn't the game that he got. This wasn't the game. He didn't give this look in the game, but maybe they need a little bit more of this kind of intensity from their players.
Oh, good.
Oh man. What?
Like for me, that's Man United's problem. Like when you look at that, I haven't even mentioned that today, not at all in this program about United 3-0 at home. You know, like when you look at that guy there on the screen, that shows you what the problem has been since Fergie left. Ferguson would never buy this guy.
No, but I mean, maybe that's what they're missing. I mean, like
90 million,
some 90 million or whatever they spent on him, right?
Madness.
90 million for a player that doesn't even get a sniff of the pitch today.
Yeah.
You know, obviously he's got this intensity bottled up. You know, I don't know if Andre's going over to smell that. I mean, he probably can smell it across the pitch, apparently. But
he's got that Ancelotti, you got that Ancelotti vibe going on with the eyebrow.
I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is. And it is what it is. And then
like for me, Ten Hag, he needs to go. Like if United want to be serious anytime soon, that decision they should have done that in the summer for me. He won the FA Cup. Okay, thank you very much, ciao. And look, but the problem is they've had some good managers there, and they're still being rubbish. So
yeah. Well, before we end here, I just want to say to one of the master splinters out there, Mr. Dark Arts himself at times. Hey, bon voyage for a couple of games. Your services will not be necessary, apparently, or not be capitalized or used as a Red Devil. But it is. We do like to see. One thing I can say is we do like to see you leave, and that is to Mr. Bruno.
That was his first red card, straight red, I think.
I think it's his first straight red, but he has had two other red cards because he did get a red against us before. I believe he got a red against us. I think he got 2 yellows for a red. Because he had that horrible tackle. He had one of those tackles. He's gotten away with some horrible tackles, by the way, too. Overrated. Wow, Monte. Overrated.
He is overrated, but for me, he's playing in a rubbish team. Hence why he isn't going to shine, because like most of his battles are running around, you know. So for me, he can't really concentrate on his good part of his game. Like he's a good little player, Fernandez, for me. But at the wrong club. Chose the wrong club.
I'm sorry. This scene, Bernie, you're right. I think that the soundtrack is definitely Justin Timberlake in the background singing "Cry Me a River" as he walks off. Oh wow! It is what it is, mon frere. It is what it is. Ollie at the wheel. Ollie at the wheel is another funny one high there for sure. But yes, we're gonna bring it to a close here. We got the ratings in. We got a lot of the discussion on these players. It is what it is when it comes to some misfortunes of our rivals or some misfortune of our of those that were contending for this title. But the one thing we can say with chest, and please say it as often as and as frequently as possible to each other, especially just to like pep your step, you know, and enjoy the moment for however long it will last. Top of the league to each and every one of you, my Reds. Top of the league. Okay, Irishman, I did see your private chat. I know it's a little late, so is there anything you want to say to the people before we allow for them to step off the live bird and go and do whatever it is makes their heart content as we are at the top of the league? Irishman.
No, just see you all tomorrow. Hopefully. Thanks for coming in. See you all tomorrow.
Okay. And JK.
Top of the league, bro. Don't need to say anything else.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Biggie.
That's right.
That was Biggie saying that.
Yes, that was Biggie saying it, right? Now
Top
what?
of the league.
Now what?
Now what?
Now what? Big up to each and every one of you for joining us. If you rocked with us for the whole 3 hours that we've been live, big up to each and every last one of you.
Playing.
If you weren't able to, still big up to you. Thank you for coming, chiming in, being a part of the chat, giving us your ratings, hopefully hitting the like button, sharing this with whoever and anyone. If you got to use your burner phones, logging in, becoming used, it does not matter. Do not care as long as we continue to grow as a community. That's all I want to see, and we continue to, bring out positive lights and bring out, a better presence on not only this channel, which I think is obviously here, but to make it infectious by going to other channels and trying to bring out a real positive vibe that we're trying to generate here. And I really appreciate each and every one of you for doing that. What was that? Has done. Oh, got you, Bernie. But yes, big up to each and every one of you. We will be back tomorrow for a little bit of Monday Night Club. We'll have, obviously news. We'll have, discussion. We might bring up some more about City, or we might bring up some stuff about City tomorrow, maybe. We could bring up stuff more about, Manchester United if you guys like. We're all up in the club, and we're just going to, basically have a good time and enjoy. It's a celebration. It's a celebration, right? It could be a celebration for some of you. But big up to Ottoman Turk. Big up. Always good to see you, brother. Good to see you, and hope that you're well.
Thanks for being
Blessings to each and every one of you. And last but not least, up the Reds, people. Up the Reds. And we shall see you tomorrow. Okay. Take care, guys. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Peace.